forgot forgot to turn my tracking on. I knew I was forgetting something. One second. Mate. Alright, now I'm alive. I'm welcome back! I'm excited. I hope you guys are also excited because today's gonna be Thea reading mostly. For those of you that use this stream as a podcast, ding! You can't see, but I'm doing a thumbs up. You can't see it though because my hands. I can only do this. The fingers don't move. But yeah, today we are playing Sister Other Paranoia. It is the new game by the creator of Needy Girl Overdose. It is visual novel, sick and twisted, freaky dicky. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to play it. It looks like Saya without the flesh. Anyway, I'm very excited. Without further ado, let's go! Bam. Open the game. Bing bing. So, one thing I noticed while I was setting this up is if you click on the sister's head, something will happen. If you click on her head, something will happen. I don't know. Do I get the head pat? Touching sister's hair, okay. Pet. Wait, almost translucent. So clear it feels as though it doesn't belong to this world. It's as if she herself embodies a beauty that feels like a fading dream. Oni-chan, I'm right here. Look at sister eyes. Large and round, so deep I could fall into them. When you look at me, Oni-chan, I'm looking at you too. Someday you might not even know who's looking at whom. The boundary between us might just fade away. We'll melt together, you and me. Oh. Okay, new game. Option? Oh, this option looks normal. Okay, new game. Okay. Oh, it's beautiful. Human relationships are complex and mysterious. Even a guy like me occasionally gets approached by someone. Like him. Just some random boy from my class, but he clearly had something going on to strike up a conversation with a misfit like me, someone much lower in the school pecking order. I can see right through people. It's like their emotions speak directly to me. The guy started up an ordinary conversation. Ah! I don't say Uncle, come back! Saying they just want to be friends, that we should hang out. Submitting to social mores, only occasionally letting our true feelings slip is what enables people to coexist in society. Behind his words, I heard a buzz of anxiety. I gathered he'd been ostracized from his friend group for some reason. When shunned by the pack, humans, just like any other animal, take it as a shocking blow. The guy wanted to prove to himself that he still had societal value, but his pride prevented him from finding someone to talk to. So he homed in on me, telling himself he was simply being a good guy, talking to a poor, friendless kid. Part of him knew all along that he was using me as a distraction. I'm not saying he was a bad guy, really. On the inside, we're all shades of grey. He had both good and bad in him, and when you get right down to it, he seemed to be genuinely trying to make friends. So I invited him over to my place. That's not gonna go well. Quite the honor, I must say. It's rare for me to allow anyone into my room. There in my room, he was just like any other normal teenager. Had a bunch of weird games, huh? You know, the reading and stuff? Not really my thing. But he thinks the hottest girl in this group. We build trust through meaningless conversation. Shallow interaction by shallow interaction. He dispelled his anxiety. He used me to try to reclaim his self-worth. So far, so good. I have a younger sister, Sahana. She's She's a gifted child, and being my sister, she's very important to me. Like me, she has social anxiety and she dislikes people. She couldn't cope with elementary school, so she stopped going. I'm not surprised. She was too smart for it anyway. So Sahana came into my room. Though she was startled to see my visitor, she put on a brave face for my sake and made an effort to join in the conversation. He wasn't a bad guy, but I guess he tended to just say whatever popped into his head. You should go back to school. You can't both be gloomy shut-ins. There's so much more fun out there. Sahana faltered beneath the barrage of platitudes, so nauseating it could make her hurl. She burst into tears. She couldn't cope with this disaster that had struck in her own home, which, unlike the classroom, was supposed to be a safe space. Stupid things he said, the tears sliding down Sahana's pale cheeks. It all set my nerves dancing on a knife's edge. Adrenaline surged and my mind focused. Turns out, when I read someone's emotions in such a state, I see even more than usual. Until that moment, I hadn't realized that my sensitivities pushed into abnormal territory, making me an aberration in society where keeping up appearances is everything. What I said to him was simple and obvious. But seeing the flow of his emotions so clearly, I wielded my words like a scalpel, slicing away his self-delusions. You picked me because you wanted to escape from the fact that your friends ostracized you, didn't you? Oh. There's dialogue choices! Hide the fact that you want to be popular, steam away into the inner circle, act tough. Thought you'd schemed your way into the inner circle, found some scraps to claim. But then it all fell apart and now you're screwed, huh? You struggle to hide the fact that all you want is to be popular. You act tough and fake that smile, but you have no confidence in your own abilities or appearance. I bet your inferiority complex is what caused your friends to ditch you. We're killing this man. His eyes rolled back into his skull. When he tried to form a reply, it came out in a canine growl. Meanwhile, in contrast to the harsh sounds, he trembled like a scared puppy. His face flushed crimson with rage, and overcome by emotion with no release, he slapped at his thighs, his maelstrom of emotions spilling out in pained groans. I guess that's just what happens when the softest parts of a person's mind are sliced open. You're a sneaky, disgusting piece of trash. Then he jumped out of my bedroom window. Oh well, on to the next one. There was a dull, wet thud that I wish Sahana didn't have to hear. He didn't die, but they expect he'll never fully heal from the injuries. The school decided that we must have been horsing around. He got carried away, and he fell out of the window. It never occurred to them that I could have talked him into it. I'd always been a loner, so when my class shunned me after, nothing really changed. Life is suffering anyway. Sahana simply wrapped her arms around my head and stroked my hair. It's okay. You're okay, Oni-chan. I can make people kill themselves if I want. I can commit murder without suspicion. At some point, I stopped leaving my room, choosing to stay shut away with Sahana instead. Time flowed on, leaving us behind. I'm loving the visual style. I'm loving the visual style so far. Eh? That's a real person! Real person doing dishes in real house. What the heck? Are? We've got live action cutscenes? What the freak? We've got live action cutscenes? Oh. I have a feeling this is gonna be a good one. I'm a sick man. What do I think I am? Dostoevsky? Besides, everyone's sick in this day and age. They're all slaves to social media likes, penning their message in this giant underground of the internet. Not that the real world's any better. I detest both the online and the off. Hate it. It's mentally draining to be so negative all the time. Time to think about something a little more constructive. Shall I put on a little background music? Music can influence your mood, you know. I do have a sophisticated side as well, a cultured appreciation of the arts. By the way, do you know what a panopticon is? It comes from the Greek word panoptes, which means all-seeing. That probably doesn't help much, huh? Imagine you're in a building or a facility for segregating prisoners from society. You stick the warden's watchtower right in the middle, then arrange the cells around it in a circle. Then ensure the prisoners can't see into the tower. This makes them paranoid that they're being watched 24/7. Now, because the cells are arranged in a circle, the prisoners cannot watch each other, you see? Thus, they will all monitor each other, ensuring no one is receiving special treatment or finding some way to get ahead. It's quite the devilish invention. Social media has been called a modern-day panopticon. Everyone's watching to make sure other people aren't getting too full of themselves. The moment anyone makes a misstep, they're roasted to hell and back. When any nail dares to stick out, the whole world descends to hammer them down. We're in a prison, see? It's grotesque. Both the real world and the online are prisons built from human relationships. I'm sensitive to people's emotions. I don't know why, but I can practically read minds. Though it doesn't really work over the internet. I'm just armchair theorizing here. But still, since I base my inferences on the same kind of information I can usually gather in person, I'm pretty confident in my analyses. Let's take a look around this prison. Oh, we gotta choose one! The artist posting cutesy drawings. The guy posting selfies who thinks he's got Riz. The Rizzler! The corporate drone posting his minor daily grievances. The anime PFP who butts into relationship issues. The anime PFP, no. The expert breaking down online drama. Ooh. Oh, heck. Okay, let's start with the artist. If you guys can't tell, this is gonna be a dark game. It's Dempa. Dempa's usually pretty dark. Think Union syndrome. Oh yeah, she's fishing for guys. Like it could be any more obvious. This cute stuff is all of a facade with nothing substantial behind it. You can tell by how shallow her sense of self is. When you get down to the details, reading minds is pretty unimpressive. It's similar to her social mechanism. Let's see if you look for her private or sub accounts. Most of her followers are men. She tries to act like it's a 50-50 split, but you'll see that her male follower rate is strangely high, especially given how she presents her main account. Her need to present a superficial sheen of cuteness is a result of the pressure of the panopticon. It's like the final compromise reached to prevent anyone from getting ahead. If people got wind of her thirst for male attention, the haters would come down on her like a pack of wolves. The female prisoners are all surreptitiously peeking into one another's cells, you see. It's an unbreakable bond in a sense. The expert. These people are everywhere. I know at least one of my social circle who fits the description. The proverbial frog in a well. Though unfortunately, unlike the frog's perspective, the unpleasant gravity well of social media is vast indeed. I wonder, does the self-important frog not even attempt to make a jump to the outer world because it's happy reigning over this vast little kingdom in the well? It's more efficient to survive on slimy bugs at the bottom of a deep dark well than to suffer under the law of the jungle and the unpredictable, unknown world outside. If we're talking meaning, there is none. Like the nighttime croaking of the frogs, they speak on things they know nothing about. Ribbit, ribbit. They're loud enough that you can't quite ignore them, but they have little other effect, either positive or negative. Though perhaps they call their friends to them. Ribbit, ribbit. Usually it's the male frogs that are the accomplished singers, and the females, captivated by the sound, are drawn to them. But as for the human frog's song, well, you've heard them. Still, keep denying the meaningless and eventually everything becomes meaningful. I mean, even the frog in the well can provide some kind of distraction. It's not for me, but I guess some people live like that. I don't give a damn about the actual problem. All these people really want to do is trauma dump or self-abandon, or both at once. They blame the opposite sex for sometimes supposedly weaker members of their own sex for their past trauma and their warped sense of self that comes from feeling ignored. Everyone's too afraid to address their own sins, and even if they wanted to, it's already too late. So they try to avoid taking responsibility for their own lives. Wow, you've got a tough road to hoe. Imagine if someone ever told them that that's life, full stop. They'd be screwed. They spend their whole lives looking around the prison, taking joy in other people's failures, swooping in to take the head off anyone who lets down their guard, then displaying it among the rest of their trophies. Bunch of revolution addicts. Nothing satiates the masses like the moment the guillotine comes down on the neck of some self-important asshole. What's better than being happy? Seeing someone you hate being miserable. They call it schadenfreude, and it's sweet as honey to this type. But living on honey alone may be its own kind of suffering. Discard the concept of impropriety, and you too can forge your route to your own happiness. These people are marathon runners, no, triathletes who have set out sprinting across the vast ocean of the internet towards an instinctual source of pleasure. And between their gasps for air, sometimes the truth will slip out. I can't look back! Quiet plea. Save me. This one's lost the will to even attempt to cry for help. No one's life is dominated by such bland, inoffensive content. If he was truly fulfilled, he wouldn't feel the need to look online, or he'd post more openly about his accomplishments and relationships. But he doesn't even have it in him to reveal the depressing realities of his life. I mean, it's pretty pathetic to see a grown adult constantly complaining, and what's the point in sending out a distress signal when it'll only make people dislike you? Anodyne tweets like his are the only resistance against this modern condition of slow domestication and the march towards death. The few responses from old online acquaintances are his lifeline. I suppose that, in a sense, he's making the most of what social media has to offer. Such connections are gossamer thin, faint as spider silk, yet the tangible truth of connecting with someone out there in the wide world, for better or for worse, can't be all bad. You think I'm no different, constantly complaining? Fine by me. It's an author's job to rant and rave at the world. I'm working, laboring in this stinking, rotten, ugly world. I'm actually doing a kindness by critiquing the drivel these people spew. Beep. Wow, look at all the likes he gets for photos of himself. His hair's dyed a crazy color. You think he's trying to draw attention with it, right? Wrong. It's a warning color. It's there to scare people off. I can forgive you for thinking he has the opposite intention. I mean, look at all the numbers he's getting. You might consider him an attention seeker, and that's part of it. But it's really about selection. He's sending out a message. Hey, I'm someone to keep your distance from. I only want to associate with people who really get me. Someone with more confidence, who's comfortable in any company, wouldn't go out of their way to look so garish. He's painting his head in the color of the moment. Look, poems he posts with his pics are so cringe. There's no art in this lifestyle. He's just desperate to convert his youth into money and cash it before it runs out. That's why he only seeks out similar-minded men who live in the moment and vapid women who flock to his fleeting star. He offers up this period of his life where one's youth alone confers value to the devil of lookism. And how will he get out of that Faustian bargain? Every day is riddled with anxiety and fear of aging, but it's not like he can do anything about it, so he shoves it deep down and carries on. This temporary popularity is his escapism, which makes it all the harder to break free from. This is how I live, spouting these prejudices, cursing the world alone, day after day. Fancying myself a modern-day Dostoevsky, I moved with the times and wrote a light novel. I did work hard on it to tell a meaningful, existentialist story through the heroine's character arcs. Do you know what existentialism is? It's a major theme in Russian literature. Here's my own personal interpretation of it. God is a supreme being we should all believe in, but I'm a human being. I too have an ego. I think that's basically what Dostoevsky was saying. I'm a literature major after all, not that I go to class anymore. I mean, I can't. I became a commercial light novel author, earning my living from writing at the tender age of 19. Impressive, no? Though I've only published one book so far. My book is called The Emotional Panopticon, which I think is a pretty slick title. Go ahead and pick it up if you come across it in the bookstore. It won a prize and everything, but they didn't print many first editions, so a physical copy is a rare find. Oh, Cities, welcome back! The other members of my literature club acted as... Literature club? Acted as though a hero would emerge from our ranks. The reality is that my book was shoved on a shelf to hype it up, but sales are non-existent. It's all about what I do next. Still, I claimed my seat at the table, and that's gotta make those still standing green with envy. There are even a few jerks in the club who talk shit about me. Not that I care. The online reaction is polarized. It's either self-appointed critics who get off on trashing the newcomers, or pretentious show-offs who heap praise on any work that shows the slightest ambition. Neither can be trusted. A few readers, though, went so far as to write the editor with their thoughts. To tell the truth, these are the people for whom I feel the need to write the sequel. Light novels live and die on their serious potential, and you're basically shit out of luck without an anime adaptation. But the thing is, I've developed writer's block. The envy of my fellow literature club members is too much. It seems to be disgusted with people. And since I'm officially an author now, I've got all kinds of people kissing my ass online. People care way too much about status, while faith in literary gods wear thin. Which brings me to existentialism. As much as I want to make my offering to the gods of arts, I'm only human. And sometimes humans just aren't feeling it. I'm sure Dostoevsky and Kierkegaard felt the same way too. The Renaissance induces a shift of perspective, from God at the center to man. Viva la Renaissance. I want to visit Russia. I feel like it'd help me regain my faith in the arts. I'd love to see the snow. This painting is incredible, right? There's something about Russian women. Their eyes are cold, yet there's a warmth to them at the same time. Portrait of an Unknown Woman. I prefer the alternate title, though. Portrait of an Unforgettable Woman. People call it the Russian Mona Lisa. I'd love to visit the gallery one day to see it in the flesh. It's messed up that no one can visit the Hermitage Museum because of this war stuff. Guess that's humanity's loss. Though I suppose it's not where Portrait of an Unforgettable Woman is, anyway. Details. Anyway, it breaks my heart that art and culture are being destroyed by stupid, egotistical trash like wars and the petty relations of humans and their little cliques and on social media. I'm not just venting my frustrations at you because I'm not making any progress with Volume 2. That's not it, I swear. Don't judge me by the blank page. Once I type one word, I'm off. I'll write the whole thing in one go. To me, there's no difference between one word and 100,000. It's so loud. Seriously, the whole world is filled with noise. The moment I step outside, all these strangers' feelings wash over me. It's so freaking loud. Everyone's always thinking about such dumb stuff. I can see the shit, and I hate it. That's why I have to stay secluded in my room. Woe is me. It'd be so much easier to cope if people thought about intellectual things, but no. Their brains are just filled with crap. Short form videos and Netflix, dating apps and X-rated ASMR. Too real for you? How about you go take a look out around at God's green earth? You're so fixated on a little screen in front of you that you've lost touch with the sublimity of the natural world. Is that too big a word for you? Let me break it down. I'm talking about touching grass. Yeah, the sweat behind the ears light novel authors telling you that your life is devoid of poetic beauty and natural vistas. Ironic, huh? Oni-chan? You're lonely deep down, aren't you? You think less of me for it? No way. I love you. Thanks. But I don't like to see you miserable. That's just how it is for authors. No creativity without pain. No, that's not the reason. You're intoxicated by your own noble suffering. You've made misery your identity, to the point that you're lost without it. You know that life is hard, so you intentionally make it harder for yourself because you think that'll let you run away from other bigger problems. You hardly want to talk when you refuse to go to school. It's not that I'm running away from school. I want to be with you, Oni-chan. Always and forever. Really? She's right that I'm running from something. What is it, Bark? Aren't we all? People can't deal with reality 24/7. By that virtue, I became a warrior the moment I submitted my light novel. I'm not hiding in the literature club room, joining a wound-licking circle jerk. I'm on the battlefield, armed and ready, preparing for my next skirmish. You're coming up with excuses in your head again, aren't you? Can my sister read minds too? You blame yourself and you blame other people, then your mind goes off chasing excuses. But surely weak people don't look for excuses. Somewhere deep down, you're trying your best to have compassion for yourself and other people. That's what gets you stuck thinking in circles and brings you down. It'd do wonders for that depressed self-consciousness of yours if you just let it all go. That's why I'm here for you. I'll always be right here. Thanks, but I'm afraid you'll have to step out every once in a while so I can crack open a spicy sight. I'll be right here. Were you listening to me? The only way to escape this mutual mass surveillance is through embracing tribalism. I'm talking about primitive relations, like blood ties. Maybe siblings isn't the only form of human connection. There are all kinds of ways to connect with people, like friendships and romance and stuff. Maybe somewhere out there, but not for me. You say that most everyone's a frog in a well, but you're an author in your room. I'll just hold up in here pretending to be an author. I've actually published something. I get royalties. I have to live on, even. It doesn't matter that you're not writing. You can be happy if that's what you want. My only joy is in sublimating misery. Pet, 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 pet. Thanks, Sahana. You're welcome, Oni-chan. The death do us part. Then how about we die right now? No, not yet. Oh! I can't ever tell who's talking! No, not yet. You still have a lot left to write. Okay. Good night, Oni-chan. Night, Sahana. Hope you have sweet dreams. I already am. They should color the text so I can see who's talking. Ever since I was a child, I've always been one step removed from the rest of the world. I couldn't stand its rotten stench. I unconsciously trained myself to take a bird's eye view of the universe, as though I wasn't part of it. And how did I see my parents? A pig and a kappa. Two bundles of vanity wrapped up in the stereotypical trappings of middle age. My father, a pudgy white-collar worker, throws his way around to hide the fact he has nothing going for him beyond his position at the company. My mother, a nympho who drains her husband's meager earnings, still desperately seeking flattery from men despite being old and washed up. Even as they rip each other to shreds day in and day out, they stay together for the sake of appearances, leaving my sister and I caught in the middle of their disputes. Well, to be clear, they don't try to drag us into their stuff. They're just constantly at one another's throats. Still, I've never found the courage to take the kids and leave. The endless, repetitive routine of it bores me. I'm wondering why they're even alive. What are they living for? For Dad, Liz seems to be working, drinking, and betting on the ponies. Mom hoards trinkets and sleeps around. But a designer bag or a winning ticket isn't going to fill the emptiness inside. That's a process, something you work at your whole life, not something you just achieve one day. Fortunately, they're the kind of people who want to save face in front of the kids. It normally creeps them out when I say such things to them. So pathetic. I think that life is about finding meaning. I mean, anyone can simply exist. That's not what I'm talking about. There's no inherent meaning there. Being here on Earth just means your parents followed their base biological instinct, the urge to reproduce. God's commandment, be fruitful and multiply. Highly doubt God imbues each sexual encounter with divine meaning. Being born is a coincidence. Some people attempt to find meaning in their existence, however, and those are the ones like me who end up with a pseudo-intellectual bent and a career to match. People who go around saying they want to be a writer while never doing anything make it a reality aren't actually interested in finding their purpose. Most people are content with their lives such as they are. They get used to the daily grind at a job they told themselves was only going to be a stopgap and figure, hey, they're making a living. That's not so bad after all, following the same old routine of interacting with coworkers and killing time online after work. If you're truly hungry for meaning and purpose, you can seize them for yourself. Dreams do come true. I'd be lynched if I said that at my club, though. A member of my not overly impressive university's literature club, I figured it was a place where things would be a little quieter for me. Welcome back! My favorite show, Streamer Dies a Lonely Times. I heard of that one. I haven't seen it, but I heard of that one. Let's take a peek into the minds of the wannabes in the club room. How's it going? It's going pretty good. I've spent so much time thinking about people's reasons for living that I pretty much can read the mind of anyone I've had a few interactions with. In fact, I can practically hear their inner monologue just though spoken aloud. Number was A. In order. A window shopper, plain and simple. He has no intention of becoming a writer, but he likes to think he's smarter than his peers who spend their time gaming or reading manga. He's got to maintain that self-image. So he shows up at the club room, and very occasionally he writes some sort of critique to stroke his own ego. It's not even at the level of a high school book report, and even still, he mostly just copies it from essays he finds online. He hasn't been reading as much recently, instead spending more time on mobile gaming and webcomics. He kinda wants to become one of those insufferable film guys, but his problem is that he immediately gets distracted by his phone whenever he starts watching a movie at home, so he doesn't really absorb the content. His type is pretty good at navigating life, and he might even land a job at a small publisher before graduating. Let's have Oh my goodness! Team lead? Oh my goodness! Welcome in! Yes, indeed, I am loving it so far. Welcome in. I'm loving it so far. It's so good. There to tell the young authors he runs into, I just couldn't hack it as a writer. Like he's passing on his dreams to the next generation, when in reality he's just passing the buck. What's B? A girl who loves literature, but loves being a literature girly even more. In high school, she was one of those forgettable girls with a few prospects, but on entering college, she found her niche as a reader and suddenly shot up in popularity. If you can really get into it with her over whatever the club is reading this week, you'll be seen as the popular guy, so the guys spend their dull days trying to impress her, with more than a few falling for her along the way. But she's a little anxious. She knows that her value is extremely localized. She'll have to seize the next opportunity as soon as it presents itself, and she's here with the aim of using her current popularity as a springboard to find a man and lock down her life. Still, she's not a bad person. This is just what people do. C. She has an aversion to men, like a germaphobe to germs. Thus, she reads books that have gender as a central theme. She takes pleasure in the consistency and routine of the club meetings, sharing her insights into these works, as well as her own thoughts on her pet theme. Her identity now revolves around delivering her insights on how work depicts woman, whether they want to hear it or not. She loathes toxic masculinity, is highly critical of any perceived vulgar talk from the club members or people online. Yeah, that's my special ability. I read really fast. I try to read slower. This is me trying to read slower. This is me trying to read a little bit slower, but it just happens. I'm so fast talking. People neither respect nor fear her, though, as they simply start avoiding her because she's a pain in the ass. Once, someone responded that gender wasn't the only theme of a particular work, and she angrily shot back that they clearly hadn't understood the author's intent. Being overly conscious of the differences between men and women only narrows one's worldview. Follower count's just a number, but she feels beholden to the people whose attention she's garnered with her provocative rhetoric. First double speed streamer, real. Her success is modest, but it is success nonetheless. At the root of it all is a lack of self-esteem as a woman who doesn't get much attention from the opposite sex, and she's terrified that people will see through that to the truth. The men and women in the club exist far more harmoniously than she'd have you believe. In her shouted rants about liberation and independence, she reveals a heart bound by invisible chains. Number D! He likes literature, writing, criticism, and hanging out with the group, and he participates in it all up to a point, but his heart isn't in it. His critiques are fine. Literature grads aren't exactly in high demand, but I expect he has a decent chance of finding employment. He's pretty much got things figured out, but he's not driven, and he has a complex about that. Sure, he wants to be a writer, but he doesn't have the passion to devote himself entirely to the craft. Given the chance, he'd much rather go out with his friends. But when making a zine, he might pull an all-nighter for it. He skates by on this level of commitment. The other club members generally like his writing, but we all, including him, know he's not good enough to be published. Vaguely, he had hoped that even so, maybe he could become a writer, that with his natural ability to get by, he might unexpectedly slip through that gate. Gotta head back to work? Alright, more games to work on? Ooh, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out. Yes, yes, yes! Alright, thank you so much for stopping in! This is very, very good, very, very good. But little by little, precisely because he's the perspective, because he is the perspective, because he's perceptive, he realizes that the drive possessed by the real one is nothing like this. And so, despite thinking of himself as the kind of guy who can do anything he puts his mind to, he's given up on the idea, knowing that he'll never be able to dedicate himself to something to the exclusion of all else. He'll graduate with a mixed bag of happiness and unhappiness, helped with a helping of existential dread about life filled with mediocre accomplishments and a rare fluke of a solid shilling, yet with no clear game plan. I suppose that's about all you could expect from the average university student anyway. Yes, I am qualified to judge. Don't forget that I made it past the gatekeepers. I'm a published author. Last but not least, there's the guy at the back of the room cultivating a gloomy aura. The one with the unsettling look in his eyes. He's a real character, but the truth is, he's just your average wannabe. Of a young guy dreaming of being an author and critic. Whenever I'm successful, he directs his oppressive envy at me like a laser. And it burns. Hiyakawa. His name is Hiyakawa, written with the characters for Cold River. Disguises how he sees his namesake. People used to ironically call him Sensei because he pompously criticizes others despite not having achieved anything himself. That all ended when my book was published. Now I'm Sensei. It's hard to tell whether he's glad that the name is gone or whether he less liked having his superiority acknowledged, even in jest. He burns with envy towards anyone he thinks has gotten ahead of him in life. Every day he compliments me on my work. It's so obnoxious. I want to quit the club, but now that I'm an author it feels awkward. That's the only reason I'm still here. By the way, I do have a friend I sometimes hang out with on the weekends. But things are awkward with him now, too. He's the most normal normie you ever normed. We were never joined at the hip or anything, but I've known him since elementary school. Sometimes we don't hang out for a few years, but we always seem to come back together. You know the kind of relationship, right? He seems to be working hard to line up a job for after graduation. That's the kind of thing that makes him a normie, you see. A normal person walks around wearing clothes because normal people don't get naked in public. We plan to meet soon to celebrate my book's publication. Well, it won't be much of a celebration. We're just gonna hang out in town and he'll probably treat me to dinner. It'll be pure normalcy. I mean that in a good way. I'm grateful for it. And as someone who can read minds, I'm also a bit nervous for it. Beneath this outward celebration of my success, frustration buzzes. He's desperately trying to suppress the fear of being surpassed by his friends. He doesn't know how to feel about the fact that I'm here getting money and recognition while he's dealing with the stress of job hunting. But what can you do? It's yet another interpersonal struggle, albeit of a different kind from what I had with Hiyakawa. Ooh. There's some things that would make people like this envious. That's what makes it so difficult. Beyond a deep shadow lies a bright light, and vice versa. Readers reply to my posts with positive messages of encouragement. Of course, people discuss my work on review sites and message boards, but the people who contact me directly are usually fans with an interest in rising authors. Though I suppose the fact that I don't have enough exposure to the have-haters yet probably isn't a good thing. Hope the next volume sells enough for me to get publicly slammed. Anyway, I do get plenty of DMs. From girls too, you know. People who secretly send me direct messages in the hopes of using me somehow for their own advantage. Mostly women. This in turn fuels the jealousy of their peers who have nothing special going for them. If I show any interest in return, I'll be lambasted as only being in it for the women. But the true greats turn their messy romantic troubles into literature, right? Osamu Dazai and Sakegutsu Ango were womanizers. Not that they would listen to reason. I got game too, though. I got a DM from a girl who wants to meet up. Going by her account, she seems to be a fairly cute university student and models aspirations to become a Vtuber. Vtuber mentioned! She looks average enough to me, but her selfies get plenty of likes and she has about 3,000 followers. She's into alternative stuff and she messaged me because she's emotionally connected with... she just like me for real. Well, I'll be damned. Could be interesting to take a peek inside her head and use that as inspiration for my work. I haven't responded yet. She just like me, for real. Finally, to play the part of a broke student, I have a part-time job working the night shift at a convenience store. That's all I felt up to. The store's surprisingly quiet at night, though it's a comparatively good time of day. The work itself is strenuous. Every day I find myself wanting to punch the manager in the face. The only reason convenience store managers across the nation are still alive is because night shift pay is slightly higher. That's why I haven't killed them. Let's take a peek inside the customers, shall we? I like observing them from behind the register. There can be something almost childishly innocent about the patrons who come here at night. Oh, like I mentioned before, my ability isn't something so convenient as telepathy. It's more like a form of synthesia, and I do need to do a certain amount of information for it to work. Well, I can hazard a decent guess from observing their actions and body language. It's only after a few conversations I start to see deeper. That's why I don't like to get close to people. Can't help it though. I'm already in their minds. Boop, 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 boop. High schooler. I bet he's a runaway. Curfew ends at 4 a.m., so until then, he evades the eyes of the law by drifting around the stores that are open in the early hours. He could pass for 18, but it's always better to err on the side of caution. Not that I have any intention of turning him in. I bear him no ill will. It's not like he's shoplifting or anything. There's a dumbass dropout who often works the same shift as me, and I don't want this kid to head towards the same future. I'm happy to let him browse for a while, liven things up a bit. Ooh, she's clearly a hostess. I mean, you can tell from how she's dressed. Maybe she doesn't work at a hostess bar specifically, but she definitely works the red light district. It's a delicate soul wrapped in those flashy colors. I guess she's here for condoms or cigarettes. She flits it on her break, then disappears again into the neon world. There you go. She's picked up a bag of condoms. Well, at least she's not one of those chicks who's obsessed with hosts. How do I know that? Hosts always have condoms on them. They'll look out for number one. This is all just speculation, of course. Man has to entertain himself when he works the night shift. Oh, man! Oh, this old guy's a regular. He's always pissed off about something. If the cashier's too slow bagging his purchases, he'll curse him out. Despite that, he buys a ton of candy. Both his work life and home life are falling apart. After his night shift ends, he fills a basket with carbs so he can eat his stress away. His body's expanded with his sedentary lifestyle, and he's transforming into a lump of flesh that disgusts his coworkers and family. My dad is the same. Gluttony's the most convenient sin. Even a complete idiot can stuff themselves. And that's what idiots do. It's a lack of self-control. To be human is to restrain one's desires. That's rationality. We aren't beasts to be controlled by our instincts. I like the soundtrack. The streets are so deserted this late at night that I feel a certain closeness with the strangers glimpsed from the corner of my eye. You know how it is. But even as I hold myself apart, I am like these people. Like that dropout coworker I mentioned before. One's surroundings reflect one's own nature. I too am a character in this setting. I'll be making my exit shortly though, now that I have my prize money and royalties. Sadly, I shall be tendering my resignation, leaving this liminal space where at an hourly rate of 1,450 yen, a teenager can work at a 10-hour shift and earn more money than they ever imagined. This place is like life's waiting room, and it's time to leave. I'm determined to move forward to my future. Serves you all right. And that's how I spend my days. I hate humanity, and I hate this world. Especially since my sickly little sister was born. She went through a lot before she stabilized, and now we siblings are in a world of our own. Sahana was born 1,000 times smarter than the average person. She's a genius. She was far too advanced for elementary school, so she stopped going. Since my elementary school days, I've always thought deeply on questions such as, why are people so cruel, and what determines what's right or wrong? The more I thought, the more distant I grew from other people until I started to see inside their heads. Once my mother asked me, why don't you like school? When I asked her if the other moms thought less of her because her kid was a loner, she screwed up her face in disgust and called me a little demon. But I'd asked the question in good faith. I heard the concern buzzing behind her words, and I simply wanted to help. You're still awake, Oni-chan? At the sound of my sister's voice, I finally become aware of the time. Nighttime's for sleeping, you know. It's the middle of the night. The witching hour, when the whole world slumbers, except for me. I feel bad for keeping Sahana up too, but I don't think she minds. Since neither of us goes to school, the time kept by those in the outside world doesn't really apply to us. There's no point in forcing ourselves to adhere to the logical world which we're not a part of. Sahana only mentions the time as a conversation starter. She wants me to pay attention to her. Twisted as we may be, she still wants us to play at being a happy family. Plus, kids find it fun to be up late while everyone else their age is tucked in bed getting a good night's sleep before school the next day. They follow their parents' and teachers' orders, going to school even though they'd rather not, already being conditioned into wage slavery as they learn to wake with the dawn. It's idiotic. They have no idea how much quieter and more enjoyable the world is at night. I'm so proud of my sister when I compare her to those drones. She'll happily point out her brother's unhealthy habits while having no intention of going to school herself. Oni-chan, you're knocking people in your head again, aren't you? No, I'm not. Actually, I was thinking how proud I am of you. It's okay. You justify yourself by looking down on people who live normal lives. No, I don't. And even if I do, I'm just thinking along those lines. I'm not looking down on people. I'm just stating facts. You'd be lost without me. That goes both ways. We're two shut-ins together. If one of us left, that's the whole world gone. Can't really say you're living if there's no one else around. But we can say we're alive in a world with only each other? I don't know, but we're living more than we would be if we were completely alone, I think. Though only barely. But I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that, too. I'll always be here. My sister's always cynical, yet always earnest. She Such a weird girl, but that's fine. If she were normal, she'd probably hate her older brother. Plus, she'd be up in the daytime and go to school. She'd set some awful alarm and it'd wake me up too, but because she's the good girl doing what she was supposed to, my complaints would be irrelevant. That's how neurotypicals exclude people like us that would even notice us. Those cruel, cruel people. We're just committing soul suicide together, aren't we, Oni-chan? Oh. Dukkha. The truth at the foundation of Buddha's teachings means that life is suffering. Oh. Maguka is suffering. I'm a fan of Buddhism. I see it as a religion of resignation. It's like, this is the way the world is, get used to it. Things are never going to go how you want them to. Suffering is the core of life. Any moment without a pain is a bonus. You live with the assumption that nothing will go as planned, finding happiness in the rare occasions when it does. But I hate the kind of people who spout nonsense about living without expecting anything from other people. They're liars. You can see it in the color of their emotions. They just want to show off, acting like they know all about suffering and truth. But deep in their eyes, you can see it. They still believe in other people. I mean, if your average person could achieve enlightenment that easily, there'd be no need for Buddhism, would there? So long as you're alive, you'll always be suffering. That's just the way it is. I read a book by a famous psychiatrist. After delving into so many minds, this doctor apparently concluded that moments of peace or joy were rare and fleeting amongst the harsh realities of life. Really gives you hope, right? Everyone's suffering. Now, I'd really rather not, but it's time I made some human connections in this shitty world. Living's inextricably tied to relationships, so I'm going to power forward while I have even a little motivation. As much as it pains me, experience is necessary sustenance for creative work. To live is to suffer. Now, where shall we go? We're going. Oh. Okay, we got the fox, the ring, the monkey, the worm, or the bat. I want to need the worm. I like the worm. The worm, it's a caterpillar, not a worm, but all worms are worms, regardless of whether they're actually a worm or not. This is the truth. Boing. The worm! I'm a caterpillar, always hungering. I'm a caterpillar, always feeding. The human chair, the caterpillar. I drink some water. The worm! Caterpillar. Caterpillar, caterpillar. Caterpillar, caterpillar. Hello. Yo, Hasia. Don't fix your posture, huh? You look like a hunchback. Seeing my buddy for the first time in a while. If I described us as bros, it'd give the impression that we're closer than we actually are. It'd be more accurate to say that we use each other, two weirdos together, to pretend to be normal. Every now and then we get together to hit up the otaku stores. It's been our thing since middle school, but now that we're at different universities, our interests have drifted apart, and we only hang out every few months or so. Still, our connections prove resilient, so I suppose in the end we really are bros. Nice to see you haven't changed, Igusa. From my perspective, he's matured with a shocking ease into a nerdy student with no particular special qualities. He plays the latest mobile games, occasionally buys merch, talks about the anime du jour, sometimes does a little gaming. There was a time when he was more passionate about this stuff, but with the pressure of completing his dissertation and job hunting, he started to talk more about real-life stuff than fiction. Basically, he's hiding out in his college chrysalis, soon to emerge a corporate drone. From his point of view, he'll have his fair share of struggles, but from an outside perspective, I'm sure it'll be smooth sailing. He'll manage to find a job, he'll start working, and while grappling with the tension between personal fulfillment and the daily grind, he'll earn a decent salary and get into a decent relationship. The next natural step will be marriage, and then he'll do his best to raise the kids in a somewhat stable home, ultimately passing his hopes and dreams to the next generation. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but to a creative person, normality is the enemy. Though there's no malice to them, these banal words and gestures of these normal people who chip away at the creative heart. When I joined my university's lit club with a serious focus on writing, I couldn't hide my scorn at the way they acted like writers with a capital W. Most people have a fleeting dream of being an author at some point in their lives, but 99% of them never achieve it. Igusa, of course, was tightly betting I'd give it up to pursue a real career. Welcome back! How's the game so far? So good. So good. So good. When he wished me good luck, there was no sneer hidden behind the words. He did, though, expect to make jokes at my expense later, whenever I grew bored of the creative life. A pretty typical mindset. How did that turn out for him? Something awkward about him today? while he leers at an anime girl keychain in an otaku shop. He surreptitiously gauging my reaction. My presence, his actions resemble caterpillars, crawling, wriggling grotesquely along ground. Don't call them grotesque! Don't call them grotesque, bro! It's the kid in the hat holding up the sign. Don't call them nice ladies, bro. Don't call them grotesquely, bro. Caterpillars are tiny wormies. They're not grotesque. They're tiny wormies. His mind is overcast. The average person is easily swayed by power and authority. To a regular college guy with job hunting wars on his mind, a published author who won a debut prizes, in terms of hierarchy, up in the stratosphere. Inferiority, jealousy, envy. It all blends together in a confusion of murky emotion. A sludgy, dirty gray, like when you mix together all the paints on your palette. He's fallen into this stagnant murk. You'd think upon seeing his friend again after so long, he'd greet me with congratulations on my achievement, but he couldn't do it. His blended pride and guilt torment him over his inability to celebrate his friend's new start. The disparity between his emotional turmoil and his attempts to act natural remind me of a caterpillar's wiggling, twisting walk. What anime have you been watching lately, Ego-san? Anime, this and that. He's being vague. His emotions are shifting into fear. Desperate to protect his own self-esteem, he breaks into a cold sweat. He's afraid to voice his thoughts on anime and manga, to reveal his preferences to an author. He dreads coming across as shallow or leaving a vulgar impression. How about you, Hasia? I'm more about books these days. Yeah, I figured. You're an author now, after all. The sense of invincibility felt by university students is a complex thing. Anime vague posting, so true! You've graduated high school and officially become an adult. You're tasting freedom for the first time. The web of your relationships grows. You can stay out past 10 p.m. without getting yelled at. You can drink and smoke at your own discretion. It's like that feeling you get in an RPG after you finally finish the long-ass tutorial, when the map opens up and there's an entire world to explore. He also felt like he could do anything. He must have been deeply wounded to discover the vast gulf between that sense of power and freedom and the realities of life. Freedom breeds inequality. The popular kids breeze through life. The gap between him and his peers widens. He goes on social media and he finds some guy he remembers as a fellow outcast who's gone viral with his shorts. Oh, while his insecurities and biases relentlessly hollow out his still developing soul. Iko's so desperately trying to prevent his pride from taking a beating. Up until now, he's had the upper hand between us, being the one looking for a real job. In comparison, I was the wannabe writer working a night shift at a convenience store. If my books never went anywhere, I'd be cast out into the world and left to rot in dead-end part-time jobs. By then, Iko started moving forward as a gainfully employed member of society. I chose this path, so I didn't care, but my chancy lifestyle put his mind at ease. Iko says not all that clever. I expect his university life is at best mediocre. I rarely read any hint of self-confidence from him. With anxiety, like he's trying to convince himself his own validity. That's what it's like to be a waste of space. And then at the same time with a sense of relief. At least I'm doing better than Hasia, damned to part-time hell forever. In the hierarchy of fellow failures, being able to scrape by as an office plebe becomes a form of identity. Basically, he's freaking out because the tables have turned, and he's no longer the one looking down at me from his safe space up above. Once our excruciating hike to the otaku shops is over, we head to a cafe. Ikusa starts conspicuously vaping, and his confidence increases slightly. Bro's vaping. Bro hit the vape. Bro hit the vape. Bro hit the vape. Hey, you don't want no more? Exactly. The slightly detestable protagonist. The slightly detestable protagonist with the strange girl protagonist. Secondary protagonist. It does remind me of Saya. I said at the beginning I was getting Saya vibes, so it is very Saya. Bro hit the vape, and bro hit the vape. Seems like he wanted to show off that. Yeah, he's a student, he can do this kind of thing. A gray haze fainter than the chaotic brain fog of his emotions clouds my vision. Bro hit the vape. Perhaps saying that he has the edge now, he finally broke to the main topic. Bro hit the vape. So how does it feel being a big shot author? He's still not fully over it. I think that snarky big shot is him trying to make himself feel better by taking a dig at me. I feel like I don't have the talent to warrant real respect. He's still trying to convince himself that my prize win was a fluke. He might even be right. After all, I haven't published a follow-up yet, so I could end up a one-hit wonder. I'm still a newcomer, a baby who's taken one small step. Still, from the perspective of your average otaku, it's more like a giant leap to the moon. It's pretty rough, to be honest. I don't know what I'm gonna do about the sequel. Pretty sure winning the debut prize is just a fluke. Oh man, you got this. You got that special something, you know? When I play it down, he's obviously relieved. At least in terms of our interactions. When he gets to play the good friend, call me the nervous newbie, he feels like he's a step above me. Is life the constant repetition of these charades? Hey, you're the one who writes those long, passionate posts where you get all philosophical about the reality of moe anime. Actually, oh wait, no, it's me. Hey, you're the one who writes all those long, passionate posts where you get all philosophical about the reality of moe anime. Actually, that reminds me. My lit club's putting out a zine soon. Zine! It's zine! Ah! Okay, listen, for like years and years and years and most of my life, I pronounced it Zine because I didn't know it was pronounced Zine. I didn't know it was short for magazine, and so I was like, oh, Zine! Because there's the I and the E at the end, so it's pronounced Zine. It's Zine. It's short for magazine. Why don't you contribute something? Are you serious? No way. I can't submit something like that. I just write whatever pops into my head in the moment. He's right about that. His posts are slapdash trash, not even worthy of polite praise. Still, people online are probably impressed with their sheer length. English is disgusting, and I hate it. Thankfully, I'm doing my part by brutalizing and mutilating English language whenever I get the chance. I'm taking the English language and I'm tearing it apart with my bare hands and putting it back together in a funny shape sometimes. Still, people online are probably impressed by the sheer length. People like to go herring off after new pursuits, and the dabbling shoves their face into their own limitations. Through this process, they transform. His posts are cobbled together. I feel bad for English second language people. English second language people, you have my respect. You have my respect. I would honestly, if I wasn't a native English speaker, I would not be able to learn English. There's too much. There's too much going on. So, English second language folks, you have my respect. You have my respect. I'm saluting. I'm saluting. His posts are cobbled together from the provocative opinions found on clickbait news sites. Whether you're gushing over something or tearing it apart, any extreme position garners reactions. Some people did respond to his essays, giving him a tiny taste of success. Hehe. I really give 5 stars! Yeah, I have a hard time with English as someone who's native speaker. Like, honestly, it's insane. The good thing about Ego is he's content with that. You won't get to lose the grandeur and start writing more biased pieces, so you can praise some people who already agree with him. He's nothing if not a coward. He shows a college degree and a workday life does not straighten his societal herd. Oh my goodness. I keep thinking about Saya now. I have been so tempted. I know the Steam version is censored. I don't know how censored it is. I don't know if it's censored enough to stream. But if it wasn't, I would be so tempted to set up an account on one of the spicy streaming sites just so I can stream Saya. I would do it. I would do it. I would do it. I would generally do it. You're a lucky guy, Hasia. Girls from your Reddit throwing themselves at you at Lit Club. Depressingly, university students' every passion seems to always boil down to sex. He wants to see whether I'll steal a march on him and be the first of us to get a girlfriend. It's one thing for him to accept that my talent has been rewarded, but it's another, more terrifying prospect for his friend to taste that delicious fruit before him. To a horny college guy, realizing that your friend is more attracted to the opposite sex is a crushing defeat. Can I have the counter on Twitch? I'm doing that literally right now. I'm doing that literally right now because I'm very serious about wanting to play Saya. Saya ya, Saya ya, Saya ya, Saya ya, Saya ya, Saya ya, Saya ya. How do you check categories? Category. Oh, category tags. Saya. Saya ya. Why is it not letting me type anymore? Tell it. Those are tags. Games. Search games. Search games. Category. Category. Category is anything. I think maybe it straight up doesn't exist. Hey! We got a sign out the category! Hey! Well, looks like that's coming. There's a scene or two that slips by. Maybe I should record it instead of doing it live. Maybe I should record it instead of doing it live. I don't know. I just want to narrate Saya. He's praying that I at least won't be hit with the ladies. Maybe it's okay for me to send him home with a little taste of that bitterness. Might light a fire under his eyes and push him to change. I don't know. I haven't really got any of that at the club, but I've had some DMs from e-girls and cosplayers and stuff. Wait, for real? Both girls, are they hot? How many? Wow, he devoured that bait. At least try to hide your thirst. I'm not really interested in them, but I can see why they're confident enough to slide into people's DMs. They've got the looks. Seriously, dude? Caterpillar. He's genuinely shocked by this revelation. Yeah, he's a complete fool, but it's kind of endearing. He fits the dumb but pure stereotype. But people don't like being pinned on the wall. They wriggle.
Hey, why don't meet up with one of them together? We've seen the shit builders can do these days. We can see how they compare in reality.
How sleazy, how vulgar. They thought us pathetic down to the way he casually offers a rationalization for him to meet these girls, as though I can't see right through him. He's still hanging his meager hopes on the belief that he'll have more luck with women than me, thanks to his prospects of stable employment. That'll come off as a misanthrope, and he'll glow by comparison. Deep down, though, lies even more frivolous wish that he might get to meet a cute girl. Every reaction is exactly as expected. He feels at ease when he can look down on someone else. He becomes slavish when he knows he's been outstripped. Caterpillars squirming along exactly as programmed. I love caterpillars! A vile, pathetic caterpillar. More like, a cute, perfect caterpillar. Wah! I love caterpillars. They're so squishy and gummy. Still, here in Japan, there's a reasonable chance that if you put in a reasonable amount of effort, you can be reasonably happy. We all start with a huge advantage simply by virtue of being born in this country. Count your blessings, Ikusa. As you start your new life and your new career and metamorphose into a functioning adult, you'll forget all about me. We're headed down different paths. The only thing I'm sure is that we need to put a healthy amount of distance between us so we can hurt one another and grow disillusioned. Damn, Literary Master's life sure is a lonely one. Yeah, so rude to Caterpillar. So mean to caterpillars. So mean to caterpillars. I love caterpillars so much. Back with sister, back with sister. You've got an even stranger look on your face today, Oni-chan. Really? I can't tell. What do I look like to you? Kind of like you have a guilty conscience.
What's that supposed to mean? Be more concrete.
You met up with your friend today, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he was weird about you becoming a published author?
Kinda, yeah. It takes a lot for someone in his position to offer sincere congratulations.
Did it make you feel good to see him squirm?
Can you read minds now?
I'm playing at being you. You're the one who enjoys deciding what other people are feeling.
I can't really call myself an author.
I guess not, but your book is published and available nationwide, and that's proof of some level of recognition.
Not enough for a second printing. I'm in the red right now. I'm just a burden on the publisher.
Still, your talent's being recognized, and that's amazing.
Nice while it lasts.
Adults sure have it rough. I'm sure the time will come when it's your turn to feel inferior to your friend. We'll never know where life will take us.
I don't care about other people.
I suppose that's relatively true.
Talk about loaded phrasing.
Well, for as long as we're alive, we'll always be fighting against other people in our heads.
I love Denpa! Rah! Leave me alone! Why do you insult me?
Nikolai Gogol, the overgold Gogol.
Ain't that search website?
Ain't that search bar website?
So I can go back to Army, or I can go to someone else. I want to go to someone else. I want to go to the bat. I want to go to the bat. I want to go to the monkey. I want to go to the monkey. The brain sticking out. Bro's got his brain out. What the heck? Bro's got his brain out. Sick and twisted. Why's Bro got his brain out? Put that away, bro. Cover that up. Don't get your brain out.
You don't need to understand, but tell me, am I all that bad? Lullaby, lullaby, it's time to part. Lullaby, lullaby, my jagged heart. The Checkers.
Is that a song? I don't know.
I'm not cultured.
I'm only cultured in the sense that I love Denpa.
Guess I should head out for my part-time job.
I love the soundtrack!
Your thought makes me roll my eyes. I'd rather forgo such menial labor for...
This is gonna be my co-worker. It's gonna be my co-worker.
Your thought makes me roll my eyes. I'd rather forgo such menial labor and focus on my writing, but having just the one book published doesn't exactly pay my bills. I'd be a fool to quit my job, to blow through my royalties in no time, and then where would I be? Same place as an old hooker, youth squandered from selling their body. There's no greater humiliation in modern Japan than working a part-time job. You trade in your humanity 1 hour at a time for a measly 1,000 yen and change. Yours is inevitably a high-handed tyrant. Your pay is abysmal. No one wants to work a part-time job. We do it because we have no other recourse. Guy with doubly soapier night shift convenience store clerk like I am. The balding manager's always breathing down our necks, suspecting every underpaid peon is slacking off. Peon. Can't believe that we're allowed to labor under such conditions. It's madness.
Burly, literally, oh my goodness.
Just the other day, a co-worker of mine, 30-something, looked to be a decent enough guy, was caught stealing sheets of postage stamps to give it the boot.
Fedora. Lady.
MC uses Reddit. MC uses Reddit. A single postage stamp is worth no more than 110 yen, but a whole sheet could sell for tens of thousands. Those stamps really add up. I'm most impressed with his resourcefulness. After we barely talked, and I don't care when a stranger just steals a handful of stamps. He's nobody to me, and they weren't my stamps. I'm all living paycheck to paycheck, just trying to make ends meet anyway. We're all lunatics underneath the thin veneer of social acceptability. Look at me, I'm nothing but a downtrodden cynical college student. Okay. Check. Poll. Concept poll. I don't know what the word is. We're doing a census here. Are we all lunatics underneath the thin veneer of social acceptability? Would you consider that sentence relatable? Absolutely, thank goodness. At least, as long as at least one other person says yes, okay. Whew! I get worried sometimes. That's normal? Oh, thank goodness. I was like, yeah, just like me for real, but I got worried, I got scared. I work nights because I hate interacting with people. My shift lasts from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Night shifts pay extra. Of course, extra is peanuts compared to the vast riches the esteemed office workers rake in every month. My pay comes at the cost of no longer waking to the salubrious rays of the rising sun. Yet there's no end to people desperate to snap up a little extra cash. Thus, they fall into the working nights pipeline. First you skip classes, then you repeat a year, and pretty soon you're dropping out. Exactly! You gotta be a little bit crazy. Am I on the road to being a college dropout? I'm sure other people think so. You look at me and think, he's throwing his whole life away. And they're right. I don't give a damn about college credits anymore. If I'm going to fail all my classes anyway, I might as well drop out and focus on my writing career. It's cheaper than repeating a year. Don't I sound fancy? Writing career. I'm a regular starving artist, a bohemian. Yet to describe myself as a bohemian implies planning, intention. The truth is I'm simply wandering my way through life. People who plot out their futures aren't equipped to be writers. Or so I tell myself. I'm still writing the sob story in my mind when I arrive at the store where I work. You know, I talked about this the other day, how I was like, oh, all the negative reviews I've seen about this game were about how it wasn't syscon enough. One of the negative reviews I saw was like, the MC is like so pretentious, it's horrible. They were like, they wrote him so pretentious. They didn't realize, it's on purpose. They were like, the MC's writing is very pretentious. It's poorly written. It's good writing. He's supposed to be like that. It's a Denpa game. It's a Denpa visual novel. It's supposed to be like that. He's supposed to be sick in the head. That's good. It's a Denpa game. How's that hard to look about? These people are like Denpa noobs. They don't understand. We need to gatekeep these people. We need to kill these people. We need to find them and kill them. In Minecraft. Or so I tell myself. I'm still writing this sob story in my mind when I arrive to the store where I work. The customers' brains have long since atrophied for lack of use. All that runs through the decaying gray matter is convenience. Of course, the workers are the same. All I think was money. Well, if you're going to a convenience store, you are going to think convenience, because it's the convenience store. Just saying. Welcome to an alternate dimension, where all that matters is clocking out the second your shift is over. Vroom. Engines purr cuts to the stillness of the night. Vroom, vroom. Unfortunately for me, it heralds the arrival of my illustrious colleague, the gentleman with whom I have the pleasure of sharing this evening. Welcome back! I knew it. I called it. It's gonna be the story of the coworker. Exactly. If the main character of a Denpa visual novel is like a normal, good person that you can agree with, that's not Denpa. It's Denpa. If you read the dialogue and you're like, wow, I kind of hate this person, that's Denpa. How are you doing? I'm doing good. He's a prick. The monkey with his brain out. Bro's brain isn't even out. What's up, buddy? Picture of a troglodytic biker bro. The awful shock of a tacky blonde hair. With intelligence of a monkey and lack of any other redeeming qualities. Granted, he's not attractive. He's probably always managed to get by. His handsome looks and amiable attitude unmask the dearth of brain activity. Was the bird reading some self-flagellation? Literally. That is the dark side of Denpa. The people who become the Denpa protagonists. I know his type. He'll get a girl pregnant when they're both much too young. Now he's got to provide for his growing family somehow and run out to get a real job. Next thing you know, he's bought a giant car to take his happy family on camping outings and road trips. Here comes baby number 2. Here comes baby number 3. Oh well, what can he do? Better hop on down to the furniture store and buy a new crib. He was big into motorbikes as a teen, and now he transformed his passion into a career in the auto industry. I'll say he's always been an active type. He does good work. He gets paid a decent wage. He yells at his kids when they screw up. He blubbers with pride at their school plays. He never thinks a complex thought, and he lives a happy life surrounded by his wife, kids, and similarly bone-headed bros. All hypothetical, of course. Do you think it's strange how backwards it all is? Why is society set up to reward the morons and punish the thinking men? I've never seen this cretin look unhappy once. It's just not fair.
Hey man, don't be jealous of me.
What are you talking about? I'm not jealous of you.
You sure? You look like you are. Either way, happy to be working with you.
Microbros are a society of animals. It's no wonder they have such sharp instincts. They rely on them to survive. That explains why my coworker's so good at reading people. Kind of like me. He owns his survival instincts, because that's the only thing standing between him and disqualification from this rat race we're unequipped to run. Our shift begins now. I step out into the shop at 10, taking over the high school kid who's been here since 6. The glint of energy in the kid's eyes sickens me. I can't stand high schoolers and their enthusiasm for working. They don't know what the night shift means. The despondency. The black ooze that seeps in the checkout counter after 10 p.m. This is the witching hour. Time for us undead to creep from our crypts unmolested by the light of the sun. This is vitality and love for work reversed.
Mind vending register, dude? I'm gonna go restock the shelves.
Night is the time to replenish goods and pull food off those shelves that's reached its expiration date. We must do all we can to send off the hardworking adults and the cheer for young college students through their happy, fulfilling days. Silently smiling we work, a labor of love for the living. I ring up the handful of shoppers that trickle in throughout the night between cleaning the deep fat fires. The stench is horrendous. A product of the buckets of oil we feed these machines swamp out the buckets of food to feed us. I love fried food! Did you guys know that if a place smells like fried food, it means their oil needs to be changed because it's dirty? Good fryers will not smell like anything. A clean fryer will not smell like anything. If it smells like fried food, it needs to be cleaned. Fun fact for you guys. Every uneaten piece of junk food I toss in the trash makes me curse this culture of masking consumption further. I would be sneaking bites of that stuff so hard. I would be sneaking bites of that stuff so hard. Yeah, you're working at a convenience store, bro. Bro's working at a convenience store. An overweight shopper decides he's overweighting. He yells out the number of his preferred brand of cigarettes. 514. You said 415, yeah? 514. I wanted to give him the wrong one. 514, you said. One moment. Beep. Right up, kid. I hate the people who come in to buy cigarettes. They're the worst. Who do you think they are ordering me around with their numbers? I'm not a convict. Beetle, 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 beetle. Beetle, 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 beetle. An ugly floozy's curt with me. Give me a 417. Beep. Maybe she reserves her smile for the patrons who stuffed 10,000 yen bills into her bra. When customer makes me do my job, when I have to do my job that I work at, 616. Meow, 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 meow. Sure it's cold out there, huh? This one's a small talker. I don't mind the chatty types, but something about them breaks my heart. Not in a big way, and not in a way I can put into words, but my heart is nonetheless broken. They say it's gonna rain tomorrow. Right. A shame. We exchange words with little substance and time drags on. Beetle, 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 beetle. It's better when there are customers. Having someone else around almost makes the agony bearable. The thing is, the night shift is a battle against time. The goal is not to look at the clock. Its sluggish hands will inspire rage, which is why it's better when there are customers. An interaction can make the minutes fly by. The true trial begins after midnight. Once the trains stop running, the customers drop off to nothing. There's no one to talk to but your coworker, and there's nothing to be done but slowly, laboriously, excruciatingly prepare for the morning rush. Its ennui have elevated to an extreme.
Alright, that's good enough. Let's sit back and kick it.
You got it, Dokodami. Sitting back and kicking it is. 1 second, 1 second. I gotta go for just a second. I'll be right back. Mate, mate, mate! If you ignore the customers, maybe they'll leave you alone. Exactly. And then I'll get fired and I won't have to work a job anymore. Yay! I'll be right back. 1 second. Barry? Barry? Listen to me. Barry, 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 shh. Shh. Take a deep breath. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. Shh. Take a breath now. Take a breath. Calm. Calm yourself, Barry! I'm back.
sit back and kicking. Activate!
Guy's got a hell of a surname. Dokodami. Means chameleon plant. I've heard tales of convenience store workers using fake names to put off being customers, but this man would never need a fake name to deter would-be complainers. Between his name and his punk appearance, he was born to work the night shift.
A lot of bento boxes throughout today. You want one? It's fried chicken.
Yes, please!
We switch into slow mode once the customers are gone. We have a lot of things to finish by morning, but we'll get to them eventually. Mopping the floors, cleaning the bathrooms, restocking the bottled drinks, that sort of thing. No more than 2 or 3 hours of work, even if we chat while we work and take our sweet time with it. If we're slow enough, we can make the work last until the morning rush. Then the commuters fill the store and tie me up at the cash register until 8 o'clock goes around and my shift ends. I collect my paycheck, 10,000 yen or near enough, and head home.
I'm gonna hit the slots after work tomorrow morning. They got a promo going on. You should come with me and help me enter the lotto. I'll buy your ticket off you if you get a good number.
The convenience store night shift is therefore a matter of waiting out the clock with a coworker. The nature of the coworker determines the difficulty of its exercise. Prior to Dokodami, my last fellow inmate was a fatso in his 40s. He peaked in high school and wouldn't let me forget it. I saw him drooling over internet escorts during breaks, and every word out of his mouth was about sex. Sex, sex, sex. It was pure torture. He's gone now, and good riddance.
You know a lot about computers, right? Know anything about crypto? I hear it's a good investment.
Oh no! Dokodami, don't do it!
If you're interested, try it. I know CryptoLite you could download. I do not, but Google will remedy that.
I don't know. I've tried it once, but I got confused when it came to making the wallet thing. I don't see the point in putting a bunch of work in if it won't pay off in the end, you know? That's why I was asking if you knew how it worked.
If it was easy to make money through crypto, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, figures. Guess I'll stick to pachinko.
Why don't you put money in a government investment account? It's called a NISA. You could build up a decent amount over time.
Oh, what now? Nissan? You're telling me the government goes around giving people cars? That's wild, bro. Hook me up. I gave you chicken bento, so you owe me.
Get real. If the government handed out cars, I wouldn't be working this crummy part-time job.
Yeah, figures.
It's decent of him to ignore the way I treat him like shit. He annoys me, but at least he's mildly entertaining. I can't be bored with him. Certainly never enough to try reading his mind. Still, I don't want to get too chummy. Biker bros are petty crime recidivists. They try to keep a careful distance. I compartmentalize. He's the guy I talk with until morning comes, and we both go our separate ways. When did you start working here, Dokodami-san?
The money, man. They don't care if I dye my hair either. All the math's done by the cash register, so I don't have to use my head or nothing. You can pass up free bento boxes, am I right?
I like bento boxes you're sneaking out of the trash can, but okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's free food. That said, the test agreement that we take whatever with expired food we want, provided we keep it on the down low. The manager would chew me out if I got caught, but I'd quit on the spot if he tried to yell at me, and he knows this. To keep the peace, he makes sure we fulfill our bare minimum obligations and otherwise leaves us to our own devices. You know what we're treated like. Brownies. Helpful fairies who tidy up the store for the next to nothing and vanish at dawn. We're barely human in his eyes.
Yeah, if no one else is gonna eat it, if it's just gonna go to the bugs in the dirt. I'm nom nom, if you know what I mean.
Eh,
You do any drugs, Hasiachi?
what are you, a cop?
Nah, sorry. I'm just curious. I'm not trying to push nothing.
Some. I pop a sleeping med now and then, with the odd mind-altering substance. Never enough to get addicted.
Getting high off sleeping meds. What's that like?
Nah, not that kind. Never sleeping meds. Newer sleeping meds don't have the weird amnesia effects. They're safer that way. You'd think you have older medications.
Am I? Well, I don't know much about sleeping meds. I can't count the minute I hit the sack. Is that all they do? Make you sleep? Don't need that.
Yes, that is all they do, which is why they're called sleeping meds. I'm talking to a man with an IQ of 5. That said, it is nice to hold a conversation that doesn't require peeping into my interlocutor's mind. There's a feeling of safety, almost. I don't have to think before I speak. This rare degree of spontaneity of whether we shoot this shit represents to me the platonic ideal of a casual conversation. The whole point of life is enjoying it if you're not... Is this him? The whole point of life is enjoying it. If you're not having a good time, you're doing it wrong. You got the meaning of life all figured out, huh, Dokodami-san?
Sure I do. We're here, so I might as well make the most of it. I don't get all your cynicism, Hasiachi. Feels like a waste of time. You can think what you like, man, but if you want to live a little, you know who to call.
If I live little, you mean never think about anything.
You say that, but you're just as dumb as me.
Me, dumb.
Sure, none of us know shit, and that's why we live like a couple of dumbasses. Overthinking's a waste of our time. Leave the thinking for the eggheads. That's my motto.
Brainiacs can dream a world for us, and punks like me can sit back and nibble on the fruits of their labor. It's that way for everything, even pachinko. You only gotta play on promo days when they rig the machines in your favor, and I put serious effort in everything seriously, and it pays off big time. It's unfair how quickly he and his ilk can see right to the hearts of the matter. No wonder we overthinkers, we nihilistic nerds, never stop bashing these animalistic punks. Worst incompatible is oil and water.
Thailand, right? Freaking love that place. Cute girls everywhere. Cute guys, too. You think they're hot chicks and wham! They pull out their peener. 2 for the price of 1, you know what I'm saying. You get to play hella loud music all night long, grab someone for a lay and fall asleep right there. It's awesome, die people. They got the saying they love right. My Penrai means do whatever, man. It'll all work out. These guys are pure optimists, so no matter what happens, they're happy.
Yeah, mentality's everything. You put things into perspective. For example, just being a Japanese citizen grants you greater privileges than most of the globe.
Exactly. Doesn't matter if you're jobless and poor. My Penrai, man. My Penrai.
While I was tired doing the My Penrai thing, a bunch of white dudes are coming and turning the country into a tourist attraction. Next thing you know, tourism powers the whole damn economy and locals get priced out of their homes. Now there's no stopping it. The whole country is a drug den and spicy place for white tourists. Let me tell you something, Hasiachi. You can't care too much, but you also can't let people walk all over you. You can't let people beat you, because they'll take everything.
You saying there's someone you want to beat?
God, I guess. Whoever was irresponsible enough to make this world so damn unequal. If I can make some money for doing... Up! I gotta let Bean out. Hold on, he's screaming. He's going, ow! Ow! Hold on. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing. Meow! Ow! Meow! Whoever's so irresponsible enough to make this world so damn unequal. If I can make some money for doing very little, have some fun, live a good life, then I figure that makes me the winner of this stupid game. Make a little cash at this job, win more. No, it's him talking. Oi, oi, oi. Let this one back! You're doing Donkey Kong DK! Donkey Kong! He's the first member and you know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. I don't think I'm again. How was your stream? How was your stream? I hope it was very good. If you need to get a drink of water, take a stretch, go ahead and do that. If you need to raid and run, go ahead and do that as well. We are playing Yap the game. We're playing Yapping the game, basically. I have been yapping constantly this whole stream because this is Yapping the game. Basically to catch up anyone who is not unfamiliar with what we're doing. Currently, we're playing the worst guy ever, Mr. Redditor. And we're just talking about people. We're just talking about people behind their backs. We're just like, wow, this guy's an idiot. Wow, this guy's an idiot. Luckily, I'm an intellectual. And that's the entire game, basically, for now. Man, these people are nothing like me. These people are nothing like me, an intellectual. That's the whole game right now. Hope you having fun. It is. Stream was good. Very, very good. Very, very good. So, this is... Okay, so this is Dokudami talking. Okay, yeah.
God, I guess. Whoever's irresponsible enough to make this world so damn unequal. If I can make some money for doing very little, have some fun, live the good life. I figure that makes you the winner of this stupid game. Make a little cash at this job, win more gambling, get rich. I'm set for life. I'll die and wake up to a big "you win" screen.
Assuming you do win more gambling.
Assuming shit. Even if I lose, I'll just keep going. Actually, it's important to lose a little. You gotta have some name for, something to keep you hungry. That's why I'm to win and take a little loss on the side. What matters is having a winning mindset. You never want to lose on purpose. I told you already. You gotta keep fighting with everything you have. Keep losing and keep taking it easy. That's dumbass life philosophy right there.
You put some real thought into this.
Sure, being a punk's all about the mindset, the aesthetic. Anyway, here's a vape with a little something extra in it. Got it in Thailand.
See, here comes the petty crime. Not that I care. Morality can heck off.
We got some time to kill. You wanna light up with me?
Are we doing weed? You just said you weren't gonna push anything.
Dude, don't be such a buzzkill. Smoking alone's no fun. But hey, if you don't wanna, that's cool too.
Never hurts to try something new, I guess.
Yeah, your turn. Also, it's not even illegal. I mean, the government doesn't know about it yet, so it's pretty regulated.
I don't care what the law says. Doesn't really matter, because regardless, we'll get fired if we get caught. Weed vape! Weed vape! Weed vape!
Man, who's gonna care? Even if they see us on security cams, they'll just think we're vaping.
There. There's kind of windism that comes with being a punk. Part of the feral lifestyle, I guess. Well, why not? If he gets caught, I'm fired anyway. I might as well join him. I take the pen he offers me and raise it to my mouth. I'm not sure what to do, to be honest. I've never even smoked a cigarette before. Dokudami has the gall to snicker at me, but I try not to let it get to me. I'm too creeped out by the thought of my lips touching something out of his mouth. Indirect kiss? You
gotta inhale. Make it go down to your lungs.
Didn't like that. I can't
You'll get better with practice.
It's supposed to happen now.
No, we just gotta relax and enjoy it. Some people have had a bad time on their first trip, but hey, my pen rye.
Ugh, I feel kind of boozy.
That's how you know it's working. Honestly, thank God for getting high. Only thing that makes these damn night shifts bearable.
His brain laughter rings around inside my skull. Meanwhile, the clunk of the air conditioner falling to a rhythm that's oddly soothing to my ears. And I understand what people mean when they talk about auditory stimulus bringing pleasure to the brain.
Hey, Hasiichi, how you liking this?
Everything is going colored. I don't know, it feels weird.
Man, you're stupid. You're weird for slumping over and muttering to yourself. You gotta enjoy it. Laugh it up.
We're both being weird. Even thinking is becoming too much of a bother. Some part of me wants to give in to this lethargy and let myself relax. This is what it means to turn your brain off. Maybe Dokudami's onto something. If we're both weird, then his no-brain approach is by far the easier way to live.
You'll be okay. This isn't even that strong, man. Right, let's get back out there and restock some shelves.
Shabby, this isn't weed! Luigi, this isn't weed! I might be able to, but you shouldn't. Your eyes are too red.
No one's gonna notice. People come in this later all crazy anyway.
I mean, fair.
We're zoinked off the blunky.
I managed barely to wobble through the rest of my shift at my snail's pace. I've never seen the sun so stabbing bright, and I hate it. Dokudami, on the other hand, is waltzing off to the pachinko parlor. I was going to yell at him for getting me high, but when he claps me on the shoulder with a big grin and says, "That was fun," I just don't have the heart to tell him off. It's only for a few hours anyway. I can go home, sleep it off, and return to my old gloomy self. That's what you think, but actually that was the forever weed. Bro doesn't know he hit the forever weed pen. Bro doesn't know he hit the forever weed pen. But until then, my pen rye. My pen rye. Bro hit the forever weed pen, he doesn't even know. You stayed out all night, Oni-chan.
And you're still awake, Sahana. It's not healthy to be up so late.
It's healthy to be awake at 9 a.m. That's school time.
But you're not going to school, are you?
No.
You should go every now and then. Even I go out for work.
What a good boy you are, Oni-chan. Your eyes are kinda red.
Oh, yeah.
Society is cruel, but you can't give in to it. You're not allowed to cry.
I'm not giving in, I'm not crying. Screw society.
Yeah, the void cube of torment, literally. You can't conform to it either. You fight it and you interrogate it. Never forget that. The world is a cold place and you don't need to adapt yourself to it.
I talk to people at work, you know. There's this dumb dropout kid. Though he's actually got more going on between his ears than you think.
Is he a friend?
No, we're not friends. I talk to him because he's there, that's all.
There's some things you can learn by watching from afar. Sahana knows.
What do you know? Come on, I'm off to bed. Find a book to read or something.
I'll stay beside you till you fall asleep.
Sure, if you want to.
I do. Good night. While everyone else is at school, I'll sit here and read. I'll read lots and lots of books and learn about the world through their pages.
Yeah, I'll keep borrowing more from the library then.
Thanks. In this world, he who finds happiness wins, Oni-chan. Sleep well, Oni-chan. Good night, Oni-chan. Good night. I was really happy when you started writing. It's plain as day that nothing else would fulfill you. I knew that it was the only way for you to be happy. You're on the right path, Oni-chan. I'm certain. Kawaii, kawaii, kawaii. Kawaii, kawaii, kawaii. Kawaii, kawaii, kawaii. Dun. Dun.
I wanna do the ring. I'll do the ring, the bar, and the kitchen. What happens if I do the same one twice? I don't know.
Beep.
Which ones have I done so far? The caterpillar and the monkey. The caterpillar and the monkey.
You take me out dancing even when I'm old. No miniskirt for me outshone by the youth. You take me for a drive even when I'm old. Cruising along with the top down, wind blowing in our hair. Chisato Moritaka, even when I'm old. Ooh. 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 My sister and I are so weird, they must be wondering how the hell our parents are like. Well, they're perfectly normal. Genetics is complicated, and yes, very rarely something happens that reminds me that we really are blood-related. But I turned out darkly twisted, while Sahana is pale, sickly, and incredibly smart, and now, well, here we all are.
This is the family one, oh heck.
Yo, that meal looks yummy!
We're born to a particularly happy household. And again, it's not the worst.
That food looks good!
Our parents are fine with Sahana skipping school, and now that I'm in college, they don't really interfere with my life. They're actively kind of neglectful, which isn't great, but on the other hand, at least they're not like those tiger parents you hear about. At night, our father wolfs down his dinner and disappears into his room. We linger at the table, eating slowly. My parents have their own worries, but for better or worse, they share a pretty typical outlook on life. They just ignore stuff and hope time will magically fix their problems. I know because I can see their thoughts. The problem is that their relationships have grown cold, and it's begun to warp them. As they age, they're walking down the classic path of middle-aged sleaziness. Our mother's in some weird battle of one-upmanship with her mom friends, while our father constantly cheats on her. They barely even speak anymore, but they stay together for appearances. They have some affection for Sahana, but since she's a Dr. gifted child, they're hoping that she'll bring in the big bucks one day. They seem to care about me too, in their own way. I'd say we're an average household, albeit one where family comes second to the mom petition and the whoring. On the surface, things look fine, but hopefully later you'll see that our bonds are as flimsy as a sheet of paper flopping in the wind.
Eat food, eat soup.
Mom's pretty proud that her son won a prize for his late novel. She resigned to me being a deadbeat for life, and she seems relieved that I finally got some prospects. But it's something for her to brag about to her mom friends. I guess there's nothing wrong with boasting about your kids. Still, I'm kind of sick of the way she brings up her novelist son and child prodigy daughter, but I'm just grateful that she leaves us to our own devices, so I don't plan on voicing my petty irritation. Still, I could sense her annoyance when it was almost revealed that her son writes late novels of all things. Someone asked what kind of books I write, and she didn't know how to respond. It's not like I'm writing anything weird, but my parents don't even read. If they tried to read my novel, they wouldn't get it. Mom freaked out when the other parent, who did happen to be a reader, said they'd check it out. She brags about her kids while she herself is empty inside. That seemed to be the first time she became aware that there existed late novels that weren't considered high literature or whatever. You should read my book, Mom. Give me one book's worth of Housewife's leisurely afternoons.
Let's eat the meats.
How can you survive on so little food? When you're so tall. I envy you. Mom speaks. All her worries revolve around her weight. Their abdominal muscles are starting to atrophy. Mom and Dad both have developed muffin tops. The more middle-aged they both start to look, the less they interact with each other, both escaping into the bottle. Of course, alcohol is only more empty calories. Mom started talking to the Mojaro skinny jab she heard about online.
The Ozempic!
It made her puke till her stomach was empty, and she lost her appetite for a few days. She did lose a little weight, but it tapped her energy and she started to panic until she ultimately rebounded and ended up having heavier before. Call it karma. Not that my father's any better. Apparently being middle-aged means you've got nothing to do but panic and run around in circles day after day. They're both having prototypical midlife crises. It's like a second adolescence where now the kids are growing up and getting ready to leave the nest. You start to question your own identity. There's no time to think about anything else when you're focused on raising kids. Well, I can't claim to have a career. It at least looks like I'll be able to financially support myself with my writing. And now the wrinkles deep as they wonder what they're going to do with their lives from here on now.
Literally! What about Haglov? What about Haglov? This poor mom has never heard of it. This poor mom doesn't know that hags are in right now. She has no idea. She doesn't know. Someone has to tell her. And I'll eat the rice.
Beep, beep, beep. Can you get rich off a book? Mom's engaging in slightly off-kilter fantasies as usual. Sorry, Mom. There's no chance of getting rich without at least an anime adaptation. And even then, the kind of money you're thinking of is a dream within a dream. It's gonna take a while for me to get to a place where you two can lean back and kick your feet up. My son's so skinny, my daughter's so fair-skinned. It's not fair. Don't get jealous of your own kids. There's half of you in each of us. If you dedicated yourself to embracing good exercise and skincare habits, you'd be halfway there. But dedication is extremely difficult to muster when you're dealing with the encroaching indolence peculiar to middle age. She's fed up in every sense, so she chose the easy route. But see, people find no fulfillment in the life without effort. Thus, she ended up having a midlife crisis. In her second adolescence, though, she's more late-blooming sakura than fresh bud. A piglet blossoms, swollen and bloated on all the blood she suckled. Stop sleeping around while I'm here struggling. All a man needs is the snaps of dumb girls' money. It's not fair. Everything's a target of her envy. Don't worry, Mom. Love for sale is meaningless. There's nothing to worry about. She can't forget how she used to shimmer and shine. She wastes her days trying to get back to a time when she still glittered. I need to stop snacking between meals. Maybe I should try Monjaro again. I'd probably get rich feeling my gifted girl and showing her off online. Wait, I'd probably have to get it on regular TV first if I want the videos to sell. If I want to have a good time, I'd have to empty my bank account at a host bar where he gets full service for 30,000 yen. It's not fair. Maybe I'd go to a brothel that caters to women. What if I got saddled with a real uggo? And again, anyone would be better than this bald old fart. I'd really have the woman married to old losers get their rocks off. Everyone's all going to brothels? She doesn't seem like a sign that you're living the good life. Oh, I wish I was rich.
Bruh! Not at the dinner table! Stop thinking those at the dinner table! I'm trying to eat here!
See? On and on the days trudge. I wish I was able to read people's emotions, but I was born this way. If either of them does anything to Sahana, they'll taste my wrath. But so far there's no sign of anything so dramatic happening. All of humanity lies stranded in the doldrums, carrying slowly on toward the current towards death. idling through fruitless, pointless days. Listless, always listless.
Nah, but the mom kind of pretty though.
Thanks for dinner, Mom. Oni-chan.
Thanks, Mom. I mean, it's only instant noodles. I'd put more effort into cooking if you two ate more. Appetite control is directly linked to our base instincts.
In middle age, people seem to become more and more faithful to said instincts. Our parents are caught between fighting their base instincts and giving in to them entirely. What will happen if they do give in? I plan to take Sahana and leave when she's a bit older. Until then, I'll keep watching her for the conclusion of this midlife drama. Beep boop, beep boop, beep beep boop. Beep boop, beep boop, beep beep boop. Beep boop, beep boop. You don't really like phones, do you, Oni-chan? That's unusual for someone your age. I guess it makes sense. You don't like anywhere that people gather, and your phone gives you that same feeling. A phone is a technological window between you and countless other people. From your perspective, what would be more terrifying? Nonetheless, you have one to prove that you're still here. Wow! Oh! Wow! Kawaii, kawaii, Sahana-chan. Kawaii, kawaii, Sahana-chan. Bing, bing. Boop.
The bat. I'll drink some water.
Critics are men who watch a battle from a high place, then come down and shoot the survivors. Ernest Hemingway. I can't adequately express how much I don't want to go to Lit Club, but I can't stay away forever. I have connections to maintain here at uni, few and far between us they are.
It's the gloomy guy from Lit Club!
As a member of the pack of petty-minded pedants, I'm expected to show up and submit pieces to their anthologies. Being a published light novel author, I have a reputation to think of. The last thing I want is people going online to sniff at me. Look at Mr. Bigwig over there. He dropped the Lit Club like a hot potato the minute he got published. Participating in events is part and parcel of being a Lit Club. That doesn't mean I have to like it. The one currently giving me grief is called the Bunge Furima, the literary flea market. It's the bookworm version of a nerd convention. People show off their novels and essay collections. It's about as interesting as watching paint dry. But it has its fair share of fans, and the attendance keeps growing year after year. You'd be surprised how packed the place can get. Again, it's not like the average nerd convention. There's a feeling in the air that's difficult to capture in words. But it's what makes the place a treasure trove of rare niche pieces of literature. The only problem is the people. Large groups of people are subject to the complexities of human relationships, especially between the sexes. The lust, the need for validation. I hesitate to call it a subculture. A literature nerd lacks the straightforward simplicity of his anime counterpart, so a gathering then becomes a roil of turbulent emotions. Lit Flea is little more than a popularity contest for the big name authors anyway. In that respect, I guess it's no different from any other nerd convention.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if it was all just completely off. Honestly, that's what it gives. That's what it gives.
I'm sure some attendees have genuine literary ambitions. Not a club though, pardon my bluntness, but we're simply playing pretend. We hack together a shabby short story collection and try to pass off this hodgepodge of words as literature. Why? Because we can. I don't know who would even want to read this crap. Take that money and go buy a volume of the latest hit manga. At least on a patchwork of scribblings I want to be amateurs barely out of high school. Just means to hype ourselves up or put each other down. We tried, and trying is half the battle. That almost makes us real authors, we tell ourselves, cuddling our collective wounded pride as we press copies into the hands of our close friends and family. We keep hoping that maybe, just maybe, a brilliant editor will stumble upon one of us and lift us up out of the gutter. It's less than 0.1% chance of that happening, but maybe, we say. Maybe. This time, however, the power dynamic is all askew. See, I'm a published author now. I have a single book, yes, but so what? That's enough to draw out a handful of my fans, curious to see what this rising star has put out next. Which should remove some product. It doesn't mean much, ultimately, but when you have numbers and a publishing contract on your side, you're the king of the literature club. Shame I've never liked being king. You won't think if my club mates were supportive, if they could tolerate anyone with them having a scrap of talent. I just hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I hate their envy. The most noxious of all human emotions.
Hello, bros!
Hey, zero energy in the club room, but what else is new? We're all here because we have nowhere else to go. The only time we pretend to be a proper literature club is when we have an event looming over our heads. The rest of the time, we sit around jawing away in the name of literary criticism. At first, we function like a book club, all of us reading the same books and convening to discuss them. Before long, though, we separate into two camps. Those who give a shit and those who don't. It's hardly surprising. Literature clubs are a haven for people who don't want to be alone, but can't be asked to be social. I wouldn't bellyache so hard if the others would put in the effort. But they don't. They wouldn't know effort if it bit them. There's just one guy who actually cares. One upperclassman who possesses something like a spine.
Well,
look at the cat dragged in, Hasia-kun. Hello, Hiyakawa-senpai. How's the new light novel going? It's going. That's Hiyakawa-san. He's in the year ahead of me, the 3rd year. Check out the desk glare. What an ugly son of a gun. He's got the personality to match, too.
He looks like a boy from a yaoi.
Now I have room to talk on either count. Hope that means you're making progress. It wouldn't do to keep your readers waiting while you finish your lit play submission. Sarcastic bastard. Again, not that I have room to talk. You know why he brought that up? He's scoping me out. He's eager to hear that I failed. He wants to reassure himself that my first success was just fluke, flash in the pan. He's clinging to his position at the top of this little hierarchy by whispering doubt in every ear. So what if he won a rookie author award? He's a one-hit wonder. Things weren't so bad before my book came out, and I sure didn't ask him to feel threatened by me. But here we are. Until I came along and ruined everything, our club was all people who stood a snowball's chance in hell of getting published. Once, he could base his ego on the supposition that he understood literature better than the rest. Now there's me hanging around, my mere existence, thumbing his nose at him and asking, "Where's your rookie author award?" You'd never hear me actually say that, of course. That'd be next level pathetic. Publishing a single book is raw potatoes anyway. But to the average enterprising 20-something wannabe, the distinction between being published and unpublished is night and day. Senpai tries to hide how much it bothers him, but he feels it in his bones. He's a failure. I feel bad for him, but I'm not some bleeding heart. He's obnoxious, plain and simple. It'd be one thing if he could write worth a damn, but all he does is skulk around the clubroom and internet message boards playing pundit.
He's the Redditor!
He latches onto whatever's in the limelight and nitpicks it apart. Good critique is easy to spot. They're both Redditors. Redditor yaoi. If it needed such a text, it's good critique. Most morons go hunting for what's not in the text. And at that point, it's quibbling for the sake of quibbling. You know what the keyboard can say, it lacked something, or I didn't get what they were going for. A real critique and addresses the text for what it is. Why did the author write XYZ? How does that connect to ABC? You'll never get that from people like Hiyakawa-senpai, obsessed with elements that aren't there. The literary value of a critique is born from the critic's understanding of the text, and he doesn't even form one. He's terrified that someone will blow the whole thing wide open, reveal that he can't critique to save his life. He read my debut novel and took it upon himself to offer me heaps of criticism, as any good senpai should. Was he wrong about any of it? No, and that's the frustrating part.
Redditor yaoi! Redditor yaoi!
Yeah, I left a lot of awkward constructs in the text. Yeah, my over-reliance on metaphor ruins several key tenets of the work. The emotional arcs were too abrupt, and my purple prose was a dead giveaway that I'm a first-time author. Even I blushed over that during a reread. He wasn't wrong. A big part of me wanted to ask, fine, then how come I won the debut award? But I already know what he'd say. I'm good at catering to the illiterate masses. The literary elites know my novel wasn't worth the paper it was printed on. No wonder this talentless hack can't pump out a sequel. You're not wrong. Things are slow going right now. I'm looking forward to taking a break with this short story for Liftly. Short stories make a perfect refresher between longer works. Remember, people will still seek us out just to read your story. Try not to let the club down, will you? I'll do my best, but you should give yourself more credit. I, for one, can't wait to see what you produce. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't write for a light novel audience. Not like you. He says as though he doesn't care for light novels. Thing is, this guy, he collects waifus. I think this snobbery about light novels being substandard lit is a new thing for him. He's just doing everything in his power to hold the other's crumbling pride. He's directing the film of his own life, and I'm cast as the cocky upstart privileged with the power to churn out LN slop. He's starring the literary genius waiting discovered by the masses, and he won't let a little thing like reality get in the way. That's the funny thing about people. We're capable of convincing ourselves of the most ridiculous things to safeguard our egos, and over time, lies become foundational to our identity. It starts off as a self-defense mechanism, anything to avoid the harsh wake-up call that is reality, and eventually transforms into pure conceit. Someday, I'll be one of the literary greats. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it's bad to have a competitive streak. I wouldn't complain half as hard if Hiyakawa-senpai wrote anything within the impact. Or even if those critiques he litters the internet with had a gram of insight in them. But last for us all, he doesn't. And they don't. He may be a competent reader, but he goes on to make it his whole identity. Especially torture to go through life as an under-snob. He is also a philosophy major. Need I say more? He digs deep into his bag of tricks to convince his fellow members in the poser policy that he's so much more erudite than they are. Through a Heideggerian lens. That's not exactly Lacanian. You understand if you read the Critique of phiaillust. Wrap up with a random rant bashing Adlerian psychology, and the uninformed masses, he must know everything. You can now see why I had to cut him down to size. He's too freaking annoying. Like I said, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. I back at you. Don't go tarnishing your industry credentials now. Industry credentials? My god, man, we're in college. But enough wasting oxygen on him. I actually do need to lock in and make headway on my lit flea submission. Like Hiyakawa-senpai, I hope to cultivate a reader base that won't knock a short story just for its length. Plus, I figure a published author's piece in a university writing club anthology could be a cool collectible someday. It'll probably fetch a premium if I make it big someday. The anime studio's lining up to adapt my work and all. Look at me getting ahead of myself. I'm acting like a kid. Perhaps I'll look into Hiyakawa-senpai's mind. Just see how much I riled him up.
not Hasia. He thinks I couldn't make it in the publishing industry. What does he know? I don't write light novels, I write real literature. The standard for getting published is much higher in my field. I only know readers with rhythmic, Hemingway-esque laconicism. Genuine talent wins every time. Anyone can lower themselves to winning a rookie author LM prize. All it takes is following the trends. Write your dream girl, and ta-da! Instant bestseller. Now if I was to write my dream girl, she'd be a demon girl, one of those misanthropic types. Give her the face of a fallen angel and the body of a preteen girl, which she'll have a complex about, of course. The slightest brush against her by a mere mortal makes her shudder in horror, unless it's the protagonist. She doesn't mind him. In fact, she...
Yeah, it's a Redditor, alright. Okay, I need to stop. Hell hath no cringe like the inner monologue of a wannabe author. Props, though. He's at least thinking about writing. What's your favorite work of Dazai's, Hiyakawa-senpai?
Heed my plea.
And Akutagawa?
The nose.
Sakaguchi Ango?
The idiot.
How about Kanbayashi Chohei?
More sci-fi than literary classics, but you know.
I'm partial to Tonight I Sip from the Milky Way. I see.
See what?
Nothing. I'm not surprised to hear any of it is all. I love messing with him. It almost makes him bearable.
What about you?
Me?
What's your favorite Dazai story?
If I had to pick one, I guess Schoolgirl.
Interesting choice.
He's clearly never read it. So, what are you gonna write for your short story, Ani-chan?
Good question. Whatever fills 10,000 characters, I guess.
You should write a romance.
Hard pass.
How come?
I don't like romance, and I don't write what I don't like.
You really don't like romance? Not even in literary sense?
Nope.
That's funny when you're such a romanticist. Why do you think that? Because you're always writing yourself into the story of your life.
Ooh. He clearly doesn't own an air fryer.
Pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Fyodor Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment.
Crime and Punishment!
Boom, boom. Law and Order, Crime and Punishment. Boom, boom. So now we have the Foxy. Foxy. Flowers.
One little... Okay, I did read that as poopy. I'm sorry.
One little poppy burning bright. Watch me, come a light. There, my first star, shining in the night.
You also... See, it looks like it's a...
Collected poems of Shuji-san.
I think it's the font. I think it's just the font. It's the font.
Gotta be careful when it comes to relationships with the opposite sex. Especially in today's mutual surveillance society. Treat every bit of personal information and correspondence as though it's public knowledge. This twisted panopticon you never know who's watching or what'll get leaked. The direct messaging feature on most social media platforms is a particularly temperamental beast. Young men and women are engaged in a perpetual struggle. Their objective is to find and couple with the best possible specimen of the opposite sex, all while dodging the pitfalls of our surveillance society. In this invisible war, DMs are a powerful tool to steal and march on the competition. As long as the messages stay private, they let you interact out of sight of prying eyes. Move the conversation to line or Discord and you've cleared the first hurdle. Screw it up though and your head's on the block. Now any degree of success attracts some amount of attention online. As I mentioned, even my inbox sees its share of traffic. Opportunists looking to stake their claim on an up-and-coming light novel author pouring by the dozens. Well, at least by twos and threes. There was this girl who caught my eye. As I said before, I got a DM from a small account saying she loved my work and wanted to meet. I clicked through the profile of a typical university-aged e-girl. Classic literature, famous paintings, gender issues, retro anime, and classic cafes, shallowly invoked between a smattering of her best moody selfies. She flattered authors who looked on the very verge of going viral, no doubt sliding to their DMs the moment they let the attention go to their dicks and responded. Now she'd set her sights on me. I figured I'd humor her.
Literally!
Bro is never gonna get any ladies. Bro is gonna be alone for life. Bro better start leaning into the Redditor yaoi, because that's his only option at this point. I was in the mood for it, I guess, to tread an exposed bear trap, to step into the life of a woman like this. And yes, to bask in a little adoration. If I could use it in my work, all the better. To be clear, I wasn't planning on freaking with her or anything. I couldn't have mustered the interest if I tried. You know, to read people's minds makes romance and sex into tedious endeavors, like taking an endlessly long test you already know the answers to. Even mere attraction is a distant dream. Once I realized life is suffering, I lost that appetite entirely. Well, I guess I'll go say hi. Bye, Sahana. I'll be back soon.
first to arrive at our meeting spot. I'd expect as much. Usually it's the guys who have to take the initiative. The girls are the valuable commodity, the ones who can afford to be discriminating, and their scheduling reflects that imbalance. Or maybe I'm just stereotyping.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Sensei.
Sorry I'm late.
Chestnut-hued pigtails bounce brightly. White and blue ribbons flutter with the hair they bind, touching on her Lolita dresses. Don't even joke, lad. Don't even joke, lad. Don't even joke, lad.
That is not Lolita. That is blue real Sangata at best. The silhouette is not there. I'll kill you. 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 I'll kill you.
Its skirt dripping like a weeping willow. Passing old-timers gawk at the bosom emphasizing cut and the way her shorts are...
Lolita doesn't have that!
Catches the wind. It's like she was designed in a lab to turn men on.
Lolita doesn't have that!
I find sexual desire an exhausting notion. Sex is the need most people are keenest to hide, much more than its cousin's food and sleep. And they're quick to lie or hide behind pretense whenever it reaches its head. As soon as you notice it lurking under the surface, society becomes hell. Everyone's trying so hard to act like they're not secretly horny pieces of shit. We're all animals, I guess. It makes sense to want to procreate. But I never quite gotten over my youthful disgust at the idea. Maybe that's why I'm here. I want to prove to myself that I'm above all that I'm better than the rest. Hello there. You don't see Tenjiku Botan.
Botan, that's a cute name, Botan-chan.
That's me. Just call me Botan. You remember my name, Sensei. I'm so happy. Being called Sensei feels weirdly nice. Female attention might do nothing for me, but apparently I do like being recognized for my work. Hello, do you know Ikebukuro? I was thinking I could show you around. Not at all. I don't go outside much, honestly. My family's out in the sticks, and I try to stay away from crowds. Then I'll be your guide. Thanks.
Ikebukuro. Ikebukuro. Ikebukuro.
Here we are, the beating heart of Ikebukuro. It's really taken over as Tokyo's otaku hub, hasn't it? Akiba's a thing of the past. It so has. It's a total Fujoshi heaven. It's got all the stores and the cloud cafes have great merch lineups. Developing its own community and culture. Right? Physical spaces where young people can share their hobbies have only gotten more important in the age of social media. Not that I use them myself, of course. I'm a lone wolf kind of otaku. I never felt the need to advertise my interests. I like what I like, but I keep it to myself. I'm not compelled to share my thoughts or impressions with the people around me.
Yo, those claw machines like cool!
Look, they even got an arcade.
Gotta milk those gamblers.
Oh, Sensei, you don't have to be so sarcastic. It's busy here, though. Let's go somewhere quieter. This old bookshop is one of my favorite spots. What do you think?
Literally, the three wolves and the moon. Literally. Fia Sister's dream! Oh my god, we're gonna come back!
Real. Maybe the real sister was the friends we made along the way. I have to admit, this place has atmosphere. A selfie with all those books who do numbers on social media, and Kaz an intellectual bookworm to boot. Girls like her love seeking out places that play into their image. Maybe I'm being unfairly cynical. Maybe. There's a simple pleasure in being surrounded by rare books. What kind of books do you like? You want to know about me? That's so sweet of you. Right now I'm hunting for a rare art book. You're into art? Interesting. But I usually come to places like this to go through old school fashion mags. It's so much fun to see what kind of clothes were cool in the 80s and 90s. What do art and fashion mean to you?
Yes, the soundtrack is so good.
They let you live rather than just exist. That's an interesting answer. I'll make note of that. You haven't been giving her enough credit. I guess someone who puts so much effort into their appearance probably would have well-developed opinions about art. Her colors don't seem muddled. Let's take a peek into her heart. Are? Oh, I have to click on her. Pink!
I'm looking! Door stuck! Door stuck! I beg you!
I close off my 5 mundane senses and look with my 6th. An eye that only sees emotions. I feel its focus sharpening. Slowly the colors of her thoughts and feelings come into view. The true Tenjiku Botan. The girl behind the mask behind the username. The real face beneath her meticulous makeup. He's actually pretty handsome. Not in an obvious way, but he has a real writerly gloominess to him. And look at those sickly eyes. If I walked around with him, everyone would think I'd knitted myself a one-of-a-kind catch. Sure, he's a bit on the misanthropic side, but so are all the college guys. All that cynicism is just a shield they protect themselves with while they look for a way to stand out. A guy like him has an erogenous zone even more sensitive than the tip or his prostate. His ego. Stroke him there and he's sure to look my way. So that's her deal. She's not trying to use Ren to raise her profile necessarily. She's just out for validation. A relationship with a budding light novel author would be a potent weapon in the e-girl community, but she isn't necessarily lying about being into me, or about me wanting me to like her. Human emotions are a complex color gradient. Even what I see is only one point of view of her heart. Her belittling of me and her reverence, her appreciation of my work and her judgment of my appearance, they're all wrapped up together. No one's feelings are a monolith. He's sure to look my way, though. That does pique my interest. Does he like what he sees, I wonder? Anyone his age would want me. You know, Otaku trying to act like romance is behind him. But something tells me Sensei it won't be that easy. He's still keeping me at arm's length. He's playing the aloof genius a little too hard, I think. Just because he writes light novels, he thinks he can ham it up. Welcome back! Yes, indeed, this game. Are all writers this way? It's like he's wary of me. He looks at me like he's sizing me up. I wonder if he's planning to use me in his writing. That's kind of hot. What would he do if I put the sex appeal on full blast? Could give him a glimpse of these lacy panties. Maybe once we had a few drinks, I could wrap myself around his arm and lace my fingers through his. Bet he'd loosen up a bit once we got back to a hotel. Everyone does. Did he grab my boobs, I wonder? Stare a hole through my panties? Give into his urges and ravish me?
No, probably not.
Well, she's a regular girl in some ways. She's indulging her own sexuality under the guise of imagining mine, picturing me ravishing her to fantasize about being used as an outlet for male desire, desperate for an opportunity to affirm her body's worth. Hidden under that demure dress is a body burning with passion, but I won't be the one to feel her heat.
Thoughts so far? I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it so far.
The fantasy only lasts a moment. By itself, it isn't enough to make her some kind of desire. And if it did, I think revulsion would still win out. She'd be disgusted that she got so carried away for just another man. She rates her own body too highly for that. Her youthful hunger for pleasure clashes with the reluctance to sell herself short. In that sense, she's very much her age. I'm gonna get this one, Sensei. Here's her last stop, Bhutan's number 2 favorite Ikebukuro spot. Isn't it adorable? Hey, it's a replica of a real Czech hotel. It's very fancy, you know. You look right at home in all this European decor. Yay, thanks! She beams. Hello, welcome back! When I pay thoughtful attention to her, she turns surprisingly genuine. Let me pour, Sensei. She picks up the teapot, looking fully at peace. Daylight streams through the window, glittering off the fine china on her third layer of eyeshadow. It's chilly outside today, so this should be just the thing. You relax so much better when you're all warmed up. Thanks. You succeeded so young that I bet you're struggling in ways the rest of us can't imagine. If using those burdens will help your writing, the least I can do as your fan is try. Did our book really make that much of an impression? Honestly, I thought it was embarrassingly amateur. I know they're just random girl's thoughts, but they just felt so desperate, you know? Like there's all this cynicism everywhere, but when you read between the lines, it's like it's crying out for affection. I just wanted to pick it up and hug it. I've never felt like that about a book before. That's gratifying to hear. Of course, that's how it reads. Being trapped in an unending hell. My ability to see people's thoughts will bring me pain until the day I die. I wish someone could make it stop. But I won't find relief in others. People can never truly understand each other. The usual compromise in coexisting is ignorance, but my condition means that isn't an option. The only exception perhaps is family. Sahana. I'm cheering for you, Sensei. I'll always be cheering for you. Hair. Nice hair. They say a girl's hair an expression of her soul. So the ribbons in Botan's hair symbolize the veneer of innocence she girds herself in. Her soul rustles as hot tea fills the teacup. A ribbon adds a dash of girlishness to its sheen. Above the waist. A cute Lolita dress. It's not a Lolita dress. Its tasteful curves lead us a soft body and slender figure. Someday some other guy will come along who loves that body deeply, who will take her flesh and soul in his arms, looking at her and only her forevermore. Hope she meets that faithful man someday. Someone who makes her porcelain skin blush ruddy pink. From beneath my sunless rock, I'll watch the happy couple skip off into the darkness. Oh, I'll cry in my anguish. How sweet it must be to be human. Okay, bro. Below the waist. Beneath that innocent guise, she burns with desire. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone feels desire, men and women alike. Once you recognize that, sexuality starts to feel less like a part of you, more like a detached thing happening on some meta level. At her age, those impulses are bound to lead her into misadventure. Sooner or later, she'll end up crying into her pillow after someone else's urges exploit her. After many loves and many abuses, she'll grow into a proper lady with her head held high. Perhaps. I boast I can read people's feelings, but only God knows what the future holds. Lips. Eyes. Meow. Her eyeshadow is distinctive, an appealing red with a touch of sultry pink at the edges. I'm sure her naturally lit gaze has stolen plenty of hearts without even trying. Eye contact is at the heart of communication. Eyes touch, a mood sparks, when we mistake that instantaneous feeling for attraction, for love, for friendship. That goes for more than just people. Dogs and cats make eye contact with their owners too. Gazing into someone's eyes is a sign of trust. An invisible coin humans have traded since time immemorial. Botan's distinctive eyes surely give her an edge in that crucial establishing moment. Sensei! See how impactful they are when you look at them directly. She knows how powerful her gaze is. That's why she wears such striking eyeshadow. Lips. Some people are subconsciously drawn to water because it makes up more than half the human body. I don't know how true that is, but her dewy lips and eyes like dark pools are certainly appealing. Animals tend to express affection through mouth contact, or so I hear. Dogs like to lick their owners, for example. On first examination, kissing is pointless. It's not even a sex act. But in its pointlessness, it lets partners affirm their affections on a level beyond sexuality. What flavors of male affection have had those pale pink lips affirmed, I wonder? Let's do this again sometime, Sensei. I'll message you, okay? Every time the world hurts you, come and warm yourself back up. Take all the good and bad it could do to a delicate man, all those sights and memories and smells and emotions, and pour them into writing a wonderful book. You have that skill. You can experience sadness, experience suffering, and turn those dark, twisted feelings into words. You were born with that curse and that blessing. So let's get tea again sometime. I'll pour a cup for you whenever you want. I really, really loved your book. Okay.
Thank goodness, back home to little sister.
You met up with a girl, Anicha? That's new.
You know, it's kind of spooky that you sussed it out so quick.
You smell a bit different tonight, I think. I don't mind, though. I'm glad you're still like other boys in some ways.
Hey, don't get the wrong idea. It wasn't some hookup. I was just gathering reference material, that's all.
That, too, is something other boys do. Getting flustered and trying to deflect.
Hey, there's no good way to talk about the opposite sex, is there? No matter what you say, everyone will interpret it romantically. It's such a pain in the ass.
How did you meet her, then?
She DM'd me. She said she liked my work and wanted to chat face to face, and I figured I'd get some material out of it. Plus, I was curious. That's all, I promise.
Oni-chan.
What?
I realize this is unusually boring advice for me to give, but you're a published author now, and that means you need to be more careful on meeting fans, especially girls.
I guess that's a fair point. From underneath, literally. Talking about women is a goddamn minefield. All human interactions are littered with misunderstandings waiting to happen, but this is the worst kind by far. I'll never get why so many people endure this torment just for the privilege of giving half their life to someone else.
You're just like other boys, Oni-chan.
Yeah, and I wish I wasn't.
I'll always love you, even if the whole world fears you. Blink, blink. Blink, blink. Nyaha?
Boom. So I think now we can continue talking to everyone. We can continue talking to everyone again. So I'm wondering how many streams I should split this up into, because when I saw it says it's like 4 hours-ish. But that's for someone who isn't narrating or stopping to do other things. So I'm wondering if I should do like one go-through per stream. Does that sound good to you guys? Just like one loop of the Panopticon per stream. I don't want to make it too short, but I don't want to make it so long that there's nothing left for the other streams. Alright. Is that a little sister place to start something? That is what a lot of people were saying, is the sister is not a very big part. Can I leave? Hold on, I think I gotta start this. I think I gotta start this to get out of this menu. Hold on.
Not reading books is proof that one is not lonely. Osamu Dazai.
No longer human.
Beep boop.
How do I save? Oh, freak! How do I quit and save? Please, how do I open the menu? Please. How do I open the menu? Please. How do I open the menu? I just skipped the whole chunk. How do I open the menu? There's a load game button, so surely. Am I cooked? I'm just gonna start pressing buttons. Okay, well there's the... L is for the stuff we already read. S moves forward. Did I activate auto? I activated auto. Oh heck, how do I unactivate auto? Auto. Okay, A is auto, L is log. Don't press tab. Whatever you do, do not press tab. How do I leave? How do I pause? I have to play the whole game in one sitting, do I? Don't press control! Freak. How do I escape? How do I escape? No! No! How do I escape? No! We're cooked. We're so cooked. We're so cooked. No one is asking how to stupid pause the game. No one is asking how to pause the... How do you save in this game? Okay. Hover your pointer by the top of the game window. Okay. Yes! Okay. Can I go back? Skip mode, red only. So, I think we like missed a whole chunk, basically. We missed a whole chunk of the game, basically. So we did miss a whole chunk of the game. So what I'm gonna have to do, I guess, is... Before next stream, I'm gonna have to just, like, skip through everything. Wait, I can just do this. I can just skip through everything. I can just press the skip button and skip through everything up to where we were. I'm a super genius. I'm a super genius. And let me kill this guy. A super genius. Soup. I love soup. Skip. This man is cringe, but I, however, am based. Skip. There's no skip button for cinematics. Close? What did I open? Oh, that was the log, I think. Nuh-uh, how do I close that? Wait, what the freak? I don't know what that is or how I opened it, but I can't close it again. Yeah, the opening thing is FMD. It's so cool. And then we gotta do all the clicky. Clicky. A, B, C, D, and then roll. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 Ugh. And then the mumpy. The wine. The monkey with his brain out. Then the ring. Then the bat. Then the fox. 2 crows in 1 week. So true! So true! I'm tired of pressing skip button. I don't even get to do anything. I can't even read because we already read all this. Oh heck, I gotta do the mini game too. Let's take weed pen. Don't do drugs, Sahana. Don't do drugs, Sahana-chan. My little Imoto, do not do drugs, okay? Okay. It's me pressing the skip button. Go to the ring. We're so close! Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Playing together like I'm playing Union Real. Gotta hit all the combo. Gotta get a full combo. I'm noticing that all of the Sahana quotes seem to be randomized. Because those are not the same quotes that we got last time, but don't worry about it. Pretend it's the same. Pretend it's the same. Did you notice how the cute girl is the one that has the most interactive parts in their story? Much to ponder. Much to ponder. Just saying. Just saying. Curious. Quite curious. Hehe. Bow 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 bow. Bow 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 bow. Minecraft! Bro, I was playing Minecraft. Get out of my room, I'm playing Minecraft! Heck. I lost Minecraft. Because you caught me off the stupid... Okay, so I have to enter the thing and then go to the top. Okay. So we're gonna save as soon as the bar's available. Bing 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 bing. Save. Yay! Okay. Bada beep, bada boom. Gallery. Oh hey, it's her. The only CGs... Oh, I was gonna say the only CGs I have are cute girls. I was gonna say the only CGs I... Ooh. I can click on her as she talks. We can listen to music with the sound that's on. I like Oni-chan's theme. We can listen to music with Sahana-chan. Pet, pet, pet. You wanna go to a nightclub? Oh, you're too young for that. You're too young for that, girl. You're too young, Sahana-chan. No, 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 you can't do that. Let's dance. Yay. Hee Cute, 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 cute. Boop. Yay! Yay! Woohoo! Yay! Hee Very good, very good. I'm excited to see what happens next. I think I have a theory as to what happens next, and that theory is that I think everybody's just gonna straight up die. But it is what it is. Big yawn. Mamma mia, that's a big yawn. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Tomorrow is... What are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow? Peh. More peh. We're doing the seasonal DLC of peh. We got the Halloween peh. We got the Christmas peh. We're gonna be peh maxing instead of dempa maxing. Peh maxing. Peh. Hold on, let me... Hold on, it's really funny. Trust. Peh. Maybe the real big juice was the friends we made along the way. Maybe the real big juice was the friends we made along the way. But yeah, I am having fun with this game. I love Dempa. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. More pay tomorrow. The last pay 1 stream. The MC has made no friends already. MC made friends with his sister. That's it. Now bro's not even friends with his friend. Bro is not even friends with his friend. This guy needs help. Mamma mia. It's going to be the last pit stream tomorrow until pit 2. Because we've almost finished the game. And then we're gonna do pit 2. The game's so nice they made it twice. Pit. I'm excited. The victory lap. Exactly. But yes. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Let me see who we are going to raid. Mamma mia. We could ride. There's a lot of options. They should make a wheel for a Twitch rating, and it spins a wheel and it picks a random person to raid. I think that'd be epic. They should do that. Twitch is delusional. So Twitch has like a suggested collabs section. Like, here are some people who are online that you should collab with right now. Porcelain Maid. No, I don't think so, Twitch. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Thanks for offering, but that's not gonna happen, Twitch. Twitch is delusional. Twitch is so delusional. There's literally a button that says knock to ask to collaborate. Oh. Yeah. I mean, he does follow me, but that's only because he was there when I was like, follow me! I was like on a Vtuber introduce yourself thing, and I was like, follow me on phiaillust.twitch.tv because I panicked, I didn't know what else to say, and he actually did follow me. Oh, thanks for the milk! Pizza! Oh, sick, I love pizza. I love pizza. Yum. Technically we're mutuals, but we've never spoken, so it doesn't count. We're like mutuals and name only. We're mutuals and name only. We're mutuals, but we're not moots. Oh, thank you! We're mutuals, but we're not moots. It's different. It's different. Who are we rating? What if we raid? Mutuals, literally. Cause that's what would happen if I were to pop into a stream and be like, hey, can we collab, bro? I would get muted. That's literally what happened. Mutuals. That's a real man on screen. Ah! I clicked on someone I'm following and I thought it was a VTuber. And it is a VTuber, but there's also a real man on screen. That's scary! No! I don't want to see a real man. No! I'm too online for this. I'm scared. A real man. Guys, that was really scary. That was really scary. Let's raid Satoru Suga, who is playing Endocopia. I have been, by one specific person who shall not be named, I have been recommended to play this game so many times. I was recommended to play the demo many times. And once it was out, bro was like, you gotta play this. You gotta play it. It's super Fiacore. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually. It does look cool. But bro was just like, you gotta play this. You gotta play this. You gotta play this. So maybe I will. But let me get this locked in. Hold on. I'll try not to look too much at the stream so there's no spoiling. Bro wants me to play the game so bad that they thought I already played it. They genuinely thought I already played it. That's how much they wanted me to play it. Alright, we're locked in. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow for some more pin. But until that time comes, I must once again say bye-bye. I'm singing it for some reason. I don't wait for syllabites in the short. Ooh, I will. Bye-bye!